Yes, guys, how's it going? And welcome to the PS4 Tournaments Open Series monthly finals. We are back for the big one. We've had plenty of FIFA, and I mean plenty of FIFA. 4 weeks of action builds up to this big one every single month. The monthly finals, $1,000 on the line, and the 8 of the best players from the last 4 weeks. My name is Brandon Smith. This is my Twitch channel, as I'm sure you are very aware of. Joining me, though, as he always does, is Richard Buckley. Richard, welcome to the monthly finals, my friend, for July.
Thank you very much for having me. Without any further ado, let's have a look back at the month of July. Who has been successful? Well, I think we go back a little bit further than that, because the last time we had a monthly finals, it was a relative outsider in the GUI 16. Will we see a similar story this evening? We'll find out over the next 3 hours. AMK, he was successful in week 1, MHaywxrd in week 2, Melly Belly in week 3, and Hezers 99 in week 4. All of those players have been competing in today's bracket. However, how many made it through to the top 8? Over in North America, Micro Nacho won the June finals, and it was 2 apiece for King CJ and B Users in July. North America will be coming up at 10 PM British summertime. Let's find out who will be successful this evening. I tell you what, July's been stacked.
It has been. And I think the one thing that we saw last month in June is that the 4 weekly invitational winners didn't go on to win the monthly finals. Will that change tonight in July? But as you alluded to, Richard, plenty of FIFA has been played this month in July. 4 different weeks, 4 different winners. And if you've missed any of the action over the last couple of weeks, check this one out. July Week 4 in the PlayStation Open Series EU Invitational saw 6 unfamiliar names gracing the bracket for the first time. The first match of the day had one of our only familiar faces in Hezers 99 taking on newcomer Fran Gonzalez 2004 with a surprising Real Madrid pick. With the most explosive start possible, 4 goals found their mark in the first 13 minutes, with a total of 8 going into half-time. A switch to a more cautious play in the second half slowed the game down considerably as the match ended 5 goals to 4 in the favour of Hezers 99.
Up next was the first time that we had seen either Daniel Alex Cahello or Waderek as they went head-to-head in the France mirror match. In a perfect antithesis of the previous game, the score remained 0-0, all the way until the 89th minute, where finally Waderek scored a late winning goal. Favourite to win the tournament, MHaywxrd took on fellow UK player Sierra16_TV. Despite Sierra's best efforts, MHaywxrd put on a clinic, dominating the match 4 goals to 0.
QWERTY Bilosh and Johan 0803 set up our second match of the day, consisting of 2 new faces. We saw a similarly low-scoring game as the first and final goal of the game was found by Johan in the 84th minute.
Moving into our semi-finals, Hezers 99 took on Waderek. A beautiful back and forth kept the players tied all the way through extra time. But with 118 minutes on the clock, Hezers found a shot that would advance him to the finals for the very first time in his Open Series career.
Mbappe, chance to win the game!
Are you shushing him? Yes! The second match to see who would make it into the finals to join Hezers was between MHaywxrd and Johan 0803. A series of unbelievable saves by French captain Hugo Lloris kept it at a scoreless game going into extra time. This is where MHaywxrd found the key to unlock Johan's defence, winning the game 2 goals to 0.
The end of the bracket for Europe saw the first time Open Series finalist Hezers 99 take on hardened finals veteran MHaywxrd. In an extremely tense match, both players only found 1 goal apiece going into extra time. Hezers was unfazed by the pressure, breaking the stalemate with the final goal of the game, and with a gigantic upset, became the PlayStation Open Series EU champion. PlayStation. Well, what a week that was, Richard, coming into our July monthly finals. The one thing I said was whoever plays well last week surely has some sort of advantage coming into tonight. And Hezers, with one of probably the biggest shocks we've seen in a while in the Open Series, beating MHaywxrd in the final matchup.
Yeah, massive shock right there. Is it going to be a similar story tonight? Are we going to see a similar upset? Well, if we are going to, we may as well find out what they would win if they were successful here in the monthly finals, because we're at the end of the month. We have almost doubled the prize money. $400 for the winner, $300 for second place, third will be taking home $200, and fourth will be taking home $100, with all of those top four receiving an additional 12,000 FIFA points on top of that. You know who's previously won, Brandon. You know what they're going to win. But tell the people at home who is in with the running of winning this evening.
You said it perfectly, Richard. 64 players qualified for tonight's monthly finals, and only 8 remain. We've played the round of 64, we've played the round of 32, we've played the round of 16, and these are our final 8. We've got Cledboy 070 against Cooljoker 96. We've not seen this man in ages. Next game will be MHaywxrd up against Waderek, 2 players that featured just last week in the Open Series. Then we're going to Ajdin Riyadh against Hezers 99. And it's iPasku against Thomas OM in our final matchup in the quarterfinals. Richard, I mean, a mixture of games, a mixture of matches. Anyone that's sort of stepping up to you coming into tonight's monthly finals?
Well, there's a handful of verified players, meaning that they've hit 27 wins on Weekend League throughout the year. Mitch being one of those. I think he's one of the favourites. I think we should look out for Thomas OM as well, a very strong German player. He's a very, very sort of top quality nation as well in Germany, and a player that can certainly cause a stir. If you think that you are good enough to compete, make sure you get involved. Follow the link that's just going to come down below us right here. Compete.playstation.com. That's compete.playstation.com. Sign up, link your ESL account and your PlayStation Network account, and it's simple as ever to get involved here in the Open Series.
It really is, Richard. Get yourselves involved right now. As we said, if you're a pro, an upcoming player, or you just fancy giving it a go in the Open Series, get yourself involved. This might be our monthly finals, but guess what? It's all happening again from next Thursday onwards. There'll be weekly invitationals for you guys to play involved in at home, and then the finals will be broadcasted at the end of August on my Twitch channel. So yeah, plenty of action to get into tonight, Richard. And as we said, we're not starting from the top of the bracket. We're starting sort of midway down in the bracket with our first game of the day, which I'm looking forward to getting into when we have the opportunity to do that in just a second. But, I mean, before we do that, it might be a monthly finals. It might not be a weekly invitation. But one thing that never changes in the Open Series is your Richard's ratings. And, Rich, what are you feeling coming in tonight's monthly finals?
I feel as though it's going to be a France-dominant display. And speaking of France, I wanted to talk about why France are the best team in head-to-head. Number one, the attacking diversity. Antoine Griezmann, players like Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Nabil Fekir, Kingsley Coman. Even, look, throw Olivier Giroud on if you need to. They've got different attacks that you can play. You have the players with 5-star weak foot. You have the players with 5-star skill moves. You've got the traits, outside the foot shot, and finesse shot in a number of those attacking players. The second point, the centre-backs. 2 of the best centre-backs in FIFA at the base level. Clement Lenglet and also Raphael Varane. In all honesty, you're probably looking at Virgil van Dijk being the only other centre-back that even competes with these 2. Unbelievable players, and they dominate the back of the defence at the central area. And third and finally, the squad depth. I named the attacking players. Players like Nabil Fekir, players like Griezmann, Kingsley Coman that can come off of the bench in your CDM's positions. Blaise Matuidi, Corentin Tolisso. You're looking at fullback, players like Pavard, centre-backs, Umtiti. All these players, also Hernandez, Upamecano. You've got so much depth in this squad that you can really start to sort of pick and choose which players you want to do. If you want to play Matuidi at right back, you can do that. If you want to play Kante at right back, you can do that. You have almost endless availability and endless options with this France team.
No, you really do, Rich, and I think it's a great point that you've mentioned there. And you've had your ratings. Maybe let's try and get a prediction right this week in our monthly finals. Let's have a look at what I'm predicting to happen tonight. And you spoke a lot about France. I'll come on to that point in just a second. I believe a past weekly invitational winner will win tonight, Rich. There's a handful of them involved that have won a weekly invitational in the past. The likes, as you said, of MHaywxrd, Hezers just last week. We saw a great run from Cooljoker back in June. So honestly, I'm going out on a limb to say I think one of those guys will win tonight's monthly finals and sort of change the script of what happened last month in June. Someone won't use France tonight. There's 8 players in this final 8. someone will not use France. And last but not least, we are going to see previous matchups happen again. Remember, we saw Hezers against MHaywxrd in last week's finals. I think we're going to be seeing those sort of matches happening again. Waderek, a player that's in the final 8, will he be going into another matchup against someone that he's previously matched? I think we're looking at the best of the best here from this month in July. It's natural there's going to be previous matchups, and I think that's what we need to be sort of looking out for tonight.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but your prediction for a weekly invitational winner, we've only got 2 left. The other 2 players both eliminated in the round of, from this round of 64 onwards. I think it was AMK who actually got knocked out against this player that we're seeing right here, Ajdin, and he's going to be taking on previous champion Hezers 99. So this potentially, Ajdin knocking 2 former champions out of the monthly finals. He's taken down AMK already. Could he be taking out Hezers as well? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, certainly indeed. I mean, another prediction that I said is that we won't see all France. And I can tell you right now, I typed that in before we've just had confirmation that our first game of the day is going to be Liverpool against France. Interesting. Remember, you know, the sort of the meta of head-to-head and the meta of the Open Series, if you haven't been following this competition, is that it's online friendlies with club or international teams. So everybody, and I mean everybody, has been using France. A couple have used Liverpool. A few people may have used PSG as well in the past. We saw Real Madrid pop up one week. We saw Barcelona pop up another week. But it's mainly been France. You have to say at least 98% of the time in the Open Series. So Liverpool will be in the tournament. They're a team that have made a run to the final 8.
Well, if you say 90% of the people are using France, I would probably say 7% of the remaining 10 are using Liverpool. It's only those sort of 2 teams that have gone back and forth. Sometimes we've seen all France, other times we've seen a couple of Liverpools here and there. They have been successful in the past in weekly invitationals as well, have Liverpool, and we're looking forward to seeing how they're going to do this evening. But first game of the day, and let's get these monthly finals underway here.
Looking at the run, Richard, of the tournament today, when these guys were involved from the word go. As we said, 64 players that did enough to qualify over the month of July. We might only be a couple of minutes into the game, but there could be early goals into it. Bobby Firmino, probably one of the best chances he's going to get. Misses, hits the post. What an opportunity that is.
What an opportunity for Bobby Firmino. You expect him to be so clinical in those areas. I spoke about Ajdin beating AMK. What else has his run look like in the tournament up to this point?
He's actually beaten a couple of familiar faces, Richard. As you said, he knocked him out in the round of 32 AMK, our week 1 in July, previous invitational. He sort of went on a UK witch hunt after that, so he beat another UK player in Sting Grayson, 1 goal to him. That was in the round of 16, and now he's in that quarter-final up against Hezers. Now, on the other side of that for Hezers, Richard, it was an interesting run for him in the tournament tonight. Kicked off with a default win. That means a bye in the round of 64. This is Hezers now with Ben Yedder on the edge of the box, and I'll turn my attentions back to the bracket in just a second. Then beat Alex, 77 of Spain, 1 goal to 0, and then beat another Spanish player in Alex Euros 10, 1 goal to 0. The man has been getting 1 goal to 0 wins. If you don't know the sort of format of this tournament, it's best of 1 matches, 1 and done. So very much a conserved performance, Richard, and just getting the job done by a goal to 0 every single time.
Chance here for Roberto Firmino. Lloris spreads himself very, very well there at the near post. But yeah, look, we've seen 1-0 victories in the past be successful. I do have to say as well, Stingray, a very, very good player. A player that I've actually, now you've said his name, realised that I've played quite a lot of FIFA with this year. Coleman looking to put Hezers 1-0 up on pro clubs. He's a very formidable striker, FUT verified player as well, I have to say. So some big scalps for Ajdin in this tournament.
Certainly is indeed. He's just trying to get some in. Then Mbappe. No one can control the ball in the box, it seems, for France or Liverpool at the moment. Awful heavy touches across the board for everybody. So it seems so far. Chance to break again. I don't know what he's done to this Liverpool team, but a different Liverpool team, Richard, in terms of Shaqiri starts the game. Chance now to go 1-0 up. Ball around the goalkeeper. Bobby Firmino will break the deadlock 22 minutes into it. And it will be an Austrian competitor that breaks the deadlock in our monthly finals, showing absolutely no respect to last week's champion.
Great composure shown as well there from Roberto Firmino, he snatched the chance earlier on. That one, beautiful ball roll past the goalkeeper and then hammered into that top left corner. He's using Shaqiri as sort of a right mid by the looks of it in a 4-4-2 with Mo Salah on the left and then a two-striker formation of Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino, if I was to put my finger on it. Gino Wijnaldum and Fabinho was the two central midfielders. But it certainly looks like Shaqiri and Salah are slightly a little bit more deeper, and it's Mane and Firmino alongside each other rather than a cam and a striker.
It's interesting to see how actually Ajdin got into tonight's tournament, Rich. It was back in week 2 of July. As I said, he's never made a broadcast before. He's never made a Final 8 across this month. However, how he did get here is from making the top 8 back in week 2, where, I don't know how it works. There's 2 European qualifiers each week. Top 4 from each makes it onto the broadcast. So each week there's 8 players that don't make it onto the broadcast, but do qualify for the monthly finals. And he went 6-1 in Swiss, did pick up a loss. But it was enough to ensure he got here tonight. But what we often see, Richard, is at monthly finals, players just turning up and they don't care about people's previous records. They don't care who's won a weekly invitational. They're here to play their FIFA. There's serious money on the line, and I'll tell you what, we've got a game on our hands as Hezers replies. And the game is all square at 1-1.
Another cracking finish there in our first game of the day. I don't know if you remember back to last week, Brandon, but our first match last week was a absolute barn burner out of the gates. A ridiculous game. We saw, what, 5 goals inside 30 minutes here in our monthly finals. First game of the day, it's been slightly more conservative, but still 2 goals inside the first half. And a couple of mistakes starting to creep in as well from Ajdin.
Certainly there are, Rich. It could be 2-1 down if Mbappe can strike this one. Strikes the hands of Alisson. And Virgil van Dijk. He's at the right place, at the right time to clear up the danger. If you have just joined the stream, this is the PlayStation Tournaments Open Series. Monthly finals. $1,000 on the line. Plenty to play for. I said it yesterday, I was sort of coming into this tournament, Richard, of does it give you an advantage when you win in week 4 and you're, what, 6 days away from a monthly finals? Hezers must be sort of full of confidence coming into tonight.
Potentially, but then also it puts a target on your back, because all of the players who didn't make a weekly invitational but still are here competing in the top 8 think, well, this guy's won a tournament. If I knock him out, arguably I'm one of the favourites then to go on. I think the only player that you can really look at is MHaywxrd in this top 8 this evening and say he's sort of an odds-on favourite. I think everybody else is sort of on a level playing field, in my personal opinion.
Half-time between these two in game number 1. The score does sit at 1-1. And let's talk about this Liverpool team, Richard, for a second. It's a 4-4-2 in action. There's no Minamino, but Shaqiri actually gets the nod and starts the game for, I think, the first ever time that when someone's used Liverpool, they've played this way.
As a wide midfielder, as sort of a left mid or a right mid, I think he's very, very versatile, Shaqiri. He's probably better, in my honest opinion, than Minamino. If you want him to play a wide cam, a left attacking mid or a right attacking mid, then probably Minamino is the option. But you see him there as a right mid, just sort of hooking the top of the pitch, making those runs in behind. And the most important stat, he has the 5-star skills. He can hit an elastico, hit the byline, and create danger.
On the way for the second half, as we said, this is a best of 1 and done. We are drawing after 90 minutes. We will go to extra time and penalties if needed. Here you ask, though, why is this such a big game? Well, if you win it, you're guaranteed prize money and 12,000 FIFA points. Our top 4 finishers for this tournament today will be able to earn themselves somewhere between $400 and $100, depending on who goes the full way and who wins tonight's tournament. One thing they will all be guaranteed is 12,000 FIFA points, and I know we're a little way away from FIFA 21, but if there's a FIFA point bank, I'm sure it can go into there for a couple of months.
Yeah, nothing wrong with saving. Up those points.
Robertson back to Mane. A couple of drag backs from him. Still with possession is Sadio Mane somehow. With that 4-4-2, Richard, looks like a strike force of Bobby Firmino and Sadio Mane leading the way.
We saw the constant offside traps as well used just for a second there by Hezers, wanting to squeeze these players high up the pitch.
This is nice from Ajdin, but couldn't find that final pass into Sadio Mane that he was originally looking for. Salah, back to Mane. Back to Firmino, chance, what a goal!
Incredible build-up play. Mo Salah at the heart of it, down this left-hand side. Played back into Mane, beautiful little 1-2 action, and then found its way to Gini Wijnaldum from that unrunning centre midfield role, and that's what you get in a 4-4-2 compared to a 4-2-3-1. Your centre mids will get involved in the attack. They'll provide you the, I like to call it, Frank Lampard-esque run, the late running to the box. When you've got a player like Gini Wijnaldum who's so well-rounded, perfect role for him at central midfield.
Perfect start, perfect goal. And Gini Wijnaldum, one of those attacking midfielders that we often talk about, Richard. He's a box-to-box midfielder, but he's certainly a player that can get forward, can cause danger, as we just seen there, can score goals. He's 20 minutes away from knocking out one of the big names in this tour. One of the big favourites is Ajdin.
Only one champion left then, Brandon, on your prediction.
Well, I mean, I was sort of counting June. Cooljoker was a champion, wasn't he?
I believe a finalist.
I remember he was using Liverpool back in June. He will be in action in a couple of games' time. Italian FIFA player. See if he's moved over to France a month later in the Open Series. But no, certainly it won't be looking promising. For a player that I expected so much from. I mean, he made it to the top 8, which in itself is a great achievement. He's had to come through 3 rounds to get to this thing. This could be a chance. This should be a goal. Mane on his own. And I tell you what, he's timed that right. Goalkeeper was moved slightly, teasing the ball across the box, teasing the shot. And instead it's Sadio Mane that fires it into the back of the net and probably fires Ajdin into a semi-final.
He moved the goalkeeper into sort of the area to stop the so-called sweaty goal and just banged it in at the near post from Sadio Mane. See the changes here coming on. Oxlade-Chamberlain and Writers Player of the Year, Jordan Henderson, being subbed on and brought off for Fabinho, then brought back on instead of Gini Wijnaldum. But great finish from Sadio Mane at that near post, rifling it past the goalkeeper. And again, where did the chance come from? It came from an offside trap. He played the offside trap at the wrong time, squeezed the players forward, and the space was there in behind.
I mean, you can make the defensive changes, Richard. He's 10 minutes away from a place in the semi-finals, is Ajdin. The first time we've seen him on the broadcast, and he says to himself, I want to make an impact, I want to make some noise in tonight's tournament. That's exactly what has happened here. Defensive changes for Liverpool. Liverpool doing everything they can to explain why they're in the Open Series and why they're the team that only a couple of people have been using. You can forget confidence, you can forget being a Week 4 champion. Hezers Looks like he's going to be crashing out in our first game of today. Chance now. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
And unfortunately for Hezers right now, these are where the questions start to ask. Was it just a lucky day? Was it one fortunate day where he just played his best FIFA? Or has Ajdin had tough matchmaking in previous weeks? Has he been matching against these finalists and these champions? Because he looks like a very, very capable, solid FIFA player. So questions will be arising. Can Ajdin continue this throughout the rest of the tournament? This will be two previous weekly invitational champions that he's just knocked out.
What's a goal that is, by the way? So what's a goal? What a goal kick from Alisson out to Sadio. Unbelievable scene.
You predicted it, Brandon.
I'm not seeing goals that you're not seeing.
You predicted it.
Chance now.
You predicted it.
Chance. Goal. And I mean, look at this man. Forget we've not seen him on a broadcast before. He's done enough to make a semi-final run in our monthly finals. Hezers might have been Week 4's champion, but he leads the tournament in our first game of today. It means nothing, Richard. Apparently so. You make weekly invitational finals, you make noise in the weekly invitationals. It doesn't mean anything in the monthly finals. That noise is cancelled and Ajdin books a place in the final four.
Maybe I need to start taking your predictions more clearly, because you got the crystal ball out then at the end. You said, what a goal, about, 45 seconds before the ball ends up in the back of the net. A great performance from Ajdin. He's once again proven that, I don't want to say it's a curse, but I think the underlying talent that is not potentially making it to the weekly invitationals is certainly there. A number of players that I see on the brackets, players like Nathan Richards, we've seen Ajdin right there, who are competing week in, week out, but not quite making it to the top four on a Tuesday or a Wednesday in the Swiss, can still certainly compete here in the monthly invitationals.
I mean, this is where the money is as well, Richard. $1,000 up for grabs tonight. And here we go. Let's have a look back at some of those highlights. This was the first goal of the game. Bobby Firmino, absolute class goal there. Ball rolls round the goalkeeper, and there was no chance for Lloris. An open net, and the ball was put into the back of net. Liverpool did lead the game by a goal to nil. There was a response, though, just 5 minutes later. Near post finish from Ben Yedder. A couple of minutes after that, I should say, in the second half, Gini Wijnaldum scored, and that goal was absolute class, Richard. There's a little bit of goalkeeper movement to tease the shot early doors. Sadio Mane found the back of the net, and the match in the end ended 4-1. Ajdin books a place into the semi-finals and gets himself into tonight's prize pot, Rich. As we said, a $1,000 prize pot is up for grabs tonight.
And you're looking at Ajdin right now. 2 previous weekly invitational champions gone down to this young man. Where is he going to go next? Is it going to be iPasku? Is it going to be Thomas.om? Brandon, I have just seen a message where it tells us, the people in us here tell us who the next game is going to be. And I knew that this monthly invitational was going to be one to remember. The PSG boys are back!
I mean,
PSG is back!
It's not only one team, Richard, it's 2. There's no France in this matchup. I tell you what is happening in tonight's monthly finals? We've got Liverpool against PSG in our next game of today. It's going to be Cled from one of our Dutch representatives, I should say, in our grand finals, up against Cooljoker, a name that is back to make some noise in July. We saw him in June compete there. He made a monthly finals there. Didn't have a good run. Didn't see him at all in week 1, week 2, week 3 or week 4 in the weekly invitationals on the bracket. But clearly, he's been still sort of grinding away, trying to get onto the broadcast, get into the top 8. And now he's in the monthly finals, top 8, where, once again, he could go and win tonight.
And just for a bit of clarity on this whole PSG debate, for about 6 weeks, I've been saying PSG can compete with France. They have got the quality, they've got the Neymar factor. There's a reason I've got him just there on the wall. He is one of the best players, if not the best, cam, right attacking mid, left attacking mid in FIFA, full stop. We need to see PSG used more, and we get to see them right here, right now, on the biggest stage, on the monthly invitational finals. I'm excited.
Me too as well, Rich. What a game this looks to be, and we're jumping straight into the action right now. We're not hanging around. We weren't dreaming. It is true, and it is happening right now. Liverpool against PSG in our second game of today. Wow. Didn't expect this. Don't know about you.
mean, you never know what to expect, do you? Yeah. On the PlayStation Open Series, players seemingly coming out of nowhere in the bracket, making runs and making solid performances, making names for themselves.
He's had some tight games as well. Looking at Cledboy, 0-7-0. He's running the tournament. As he said, he's from the Netherlands. Beat Sierra, a good friend of ours, 5-1 in the round of 64. Then went and played against Alex Rayo, 7-7-8. Beat him 4-3. Then went up against Daniel Alex. Beat him 3-2. So every single game, it has been a narrow win. But one thing he has done is scored a lot of goals. And maybe we're going to be seeing this in this one. He defends that first chance off the game for Cooljoker.
I think it's going to be a very skillful game right here. You saw out of the block, beautiful Lecraqueta heel to heel from Mbappe and Neymar. On the other side of that, Cledboy came out with a beautiful Berber spin. Look at Idrissa Gana Gay. He's wanted to get a bit of Merseyside revenge. Former Evertonian.
Of course, we can see the Twitch chat as always. We can see Treader's in there. He's done a smashing job this week with the Summer Cup series. We've been tuning in, watching from the sidelines. Carl McKeon, welcome, my friend. We got Vince, we got Ekus Nor. We can see everybody tuning in tonight. Hope you guys are enjoying the PlayStation Open Series monthly finals, as that one does go out for a goal kick. And a different way to use Liverpool we are seeing from Cledboy here. Minamino's back in. Shaqiri back on the bench.
I mean, it looks like potential. I see Roberto Firmino out wide. Is that sort of a left cam area? We'll get confirmation of the formation, but it looks like Salah and Mane is a two-striker duo. Fabinho, great tackle. That's where, in my personal opinion, PSG are a little lacklustre in the centre of midfield. You've got both Idrissa Gana Gueye and Ander Herrera that are being used right now. You've got Marco Verratti, who's another option. They're a little light. If they had an outstanding CDM and then N'Golo Kante, someone like Luka Modric who could keep it ticking over, Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, Rodri, I think you'd see them used a lot more to partner next to one of those other talents. Chance here. Cavani on the cutback. Joe Gomez lashed his tackle.
What a tackle it was. What a clutch tackle. This could be a chance as well from that tackle, Richard. It's Sadio Mane. Chance for Cledboy to find the breakthrough, and he will. Left top corner finish. No chance for Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris? I'm so stuck in the waves. It's Navas. Wake up, Brandon.
I'll let you off. It's the white kit. It's an easy mistake.
It's just in shock.
But that's how brutal FIFA can be at the highest level. One chance for Edison Cavani. Cleared off the line by Joe Gomez. Mane goes up the other end and smashes it into the back of the net.
As we said, this is the first time we've seen Cledboy involved in the broadcast. Again, it just goes to show, Rich, there's so many names in Europe that are sort of one win or one defeat away from making a broadcast, and sort of we get so close to seeing those names. It's great with the monthly finals because everybody gets another chance at it. 64 players with a chance to make themselves $400 tonight, alongside being the champion for this month in July. Here's Cooljoker now. Lovely fake shot inside, and that's absolutely class from Mbappe. It might not be France, but it's PSG. And that man, once again, is so deadly in this team.
The first time fake shot, an absolute treat right there. Perfect timing, perfect execution of the skill move. Sold Joe Gomez down the river. And puts us in a tied game, one apiece. Salah up the other end, straight away. Navas does well on this occasion.
Sort of just looking across the board, Richard, in terms of Cooljoker this month. As we said, we saw him in June. How he got here tonight was a top 6 finish back in week 2 in July. Wasn't good enough to make the broadcast, but Still, as I said, finished within the top 8, which was enough to book a place in the monthly finals. Elastico into the shot. Great save from Allison to deny that chance. Going into the back of the net.
And Brandon did say it a little bit earlier. If you are in the chat right now, let us know. Out of the two teams on the screen here, Liverpool and PSG, who would you choose in a head-to-head game of FIFA esports? Junior Wijnaldum running into Marquinhos at the back.
No.
Then,
No. You don't make mistakes like that in a final. You don't make risks. You don't take risks. Because stuff like that will happen. That could be a goal that Cooljoker, in about 10 minutes' time, comes to regret.
I think he got stitched up by the first touch of the goalkeeper. I don't really see too much wrong with him playing it back to the keeper. It was just the first touch was so poor, and he has to have a short-term memory right now. He has to get that out of his head straight away and try and bounce back into this game. A very harsh way of going down 2-1.
Could be 3. Chance near post, cleared away by Kimpembe, out for a corner in the end, but yeah, an awful touch from Navas. Awful touch, and it was such an easy finish from Mohamed Salah. Corner played in, it's headers and volleys in the box at the moment. Referee!
Ref? Ref, are we playing football or is this professional wrestling? What on earth was that? He just brought him down in the box. That's about as stonewall penalty as Hadrian's Wall.
Lucky to be on the pitch as well, in all honesty. Tackle was from behind. It wasn't nice on Fabinho at all. I don't know what we've seen there. If we can get it on the replays at the end of the game, how that is not a penalty, apparently.
I mean, suppose it levels itself out. You had the mistake of the goal, but then that penalty decision right there has gone for Cooljoker.
I mean, it would have been a 45 minutes to forget about, Richard, if that was the penalty, and it was just 10 players left on the field.
The only thing I can think is he's pressed X potentially to clear the ball, and it's not actually registered as a tackle. Di Maria, Alisson does so well.
These are our quarter-final games, if you are wondering what you guys are watching right now. This is our monthly finals as part of the PS4 Tournaments Open Series. Weekly tournaments, monthly finals, chance to get an equaliser for Neymar. Goes for the cutback, and unfortunately can only run it off the pitch. Out for a goal kick. 50 minutes played here. Cledboy still leads 2-1 as Liverpool.
That's nice. Great first touch.
Salah dragged back, right foot finesse, went for a Berber spin inside, and she couldn't pull it off.
One of the only sort of real negatives to Mo Salah, nobody feels really comfortable trying a finesse shot on his right foot. If that's Neymar, if that's Mbappe, even someone with a 4-star weak foot, Leo Messi, you potentially hit that on his weak foot. With Salah, with the poor weak foot that he has of a 3-star, you just don't want to risk it on a right foot finesse.
Chance for PSG, Neymar. He came close. It was a great save from Navas. I think it's the first thing he's done right today. Saves it onto the, well, just off the post, I should say. Saves it into the side netting, does Navas. That was a great save in the end, and it will be a corner.
Interesting change from PSG. Just put, Neymar was playing as a central cam, and you just put him out wide left now, and brought Di Maria in the central role. Not sure if he's spotted a weakness potentially in that Liverpool defence, or, well, if he's on the left cam, he'll be playing against Trent. Will Neymar, I believe. Maybe he spotted that as a an entry point to this Liverpool defence. But Di Maria, not an ideal central cam, with the sort of very, very poor, I shall say, weak foot that he has with only a 2-star.
I mean, to be honest, Rich, I think it's the first time we've seen PSG in July, so I'm just enjoying it right now. I'm sitting back, I'm relaxing. First game we don't see France in a monthly finals of all times, in a quarter-final in a monthly final. There's clearly a reason why these two are backing these teams, and they've certainly been working well for them if they've been able to make such a good run in the tournament. Good tackle there from Van Dijk to get the ball forward and to move things forward. Sadio Mane into Salah. Nothing will come of that attack. I tell you what a ball that is from Cavani into Di Maria. Chance now for PSG to get back in front. Mbappe bags a brace and brings this game all square. At 2-2, a fantastic little passage of play there. For a split second, I was trying to say, where is Neymar in this attack? I saw Cavani and both Di Maria linking up, but I didn't see Neymar. He didn't even need to be involved in that attack because it was Mbappe at the right place, at the right time. Very calm, very composed. Was able to finesse that into the back of the net. 2-2 the score here in our second match of the evening.
Speaking of Cavani, you just mentioned him right there. He's now been ushered off of the pitch with Mauro Icardi coming on as a central striker. Marco Verratti also being introduced for Ander Herrera. So with 20 minutes left to go, quite offensive changes by Cooljoker.
Chance. PSG back to goal. Icardi off the bench. A great save by the feet of Alisson. Still the chance is alive, but not for so long. What a sort of piece of creativity there it was from the Argentine up front. Went for the sort of scoop turn around his man, but Alisson proving why he's another reason why Liverpool used.
Not too sure if another pass was the right option instead of the shot there from Cooljoker, to be honest. He had the chance with Icardi, but the angle was always very tight with the goalkeeper rushing out. Maybe a little through ball round the corner to just thread in Di Maria. Salah there just went a little bit early and is called offside.
I say, because I thought he was just offside there. There's a couple of seconds delay, but that certainly is something. Just offside, slightly too eager with the Egyptian forward to try and make an angle, try and make a run for his team. Eight minutes left in this one. Is it going to be late drama? Are we going to need to go to extra time for the first time tonight? I'm sure it won't be the last time. As the stakes are higher, the money's higher in this one. Chance now for Liverpool late on into this game. Sadio Mane back to Salah. It's an awful pass. Just didn't get any sort of power on it.
And that's Trent being pulled out of position. You look at Neymar just on that left-hand side. I think he's going to be instrumental in this match.
You just look at the attacking players on the pitch for PSG, Richard. Neymar, Mbappe, Icardi, Di Maria. There is Icardi now, round the corner. You had Virgil van Dijk just pulling onto him, holding onto him, and the Dutch defender gets a leg to out for a corner it goes. Played short to the edge of the box of Marquinhos. Where's that final pass? There's Mbappe, scoops around the corner, half a drag back. It's well read. And this will be the last chance of the game. Is there a chance? Or is it extra time that will be in front of us? Needs to time this pass well. Sadio Mane now for Liverpool. Chance, lay on. Is it late drama? It's a great save. Back to Sadio Mane. And there's drama at either end. There's chances at either end. But I think we're going into extra time here, Richard.
Hold on. Bounce. Oh, I tell you what. For a second, I thought that bounce was going to fall to Angel Di Maria. And for the first and a guarantee not final time, here on the monthly finals in EU. We're going into extra time. One change left for PSG, but I don't really see anybody coming off the bench. For me, Neymar has to be brought inside.
I think as well, on top of that, this is extra time for the first time tonight, but I'm sure we might go one step further than that at some point. And who knows, we might even see a penalty shootout, the dreaded penalty shootout tonight in the Open Series monthly finals. Mohamed Salah now, chance. Well, Reds again. Defensively, there's just good player switching for both of these two, both managing attacks well in terms of diving into a tackle when they need to and stepping off when they need to as well. It's not always about being aggressive. It's not always about diving into tackles and sort of smashing that circle button. To lunge in and to get a foot in the way. It's all about having the balance, and both of these two have been able to do that. Chance for Mane, slightly too heavy. Navas able to pick it up.
There's a lot, and I mean a lot of pace on this pitch right now. Salah, Mane, Di Maria, Neymar, Mbappe. Players that can make a difference. Who's going to be the difference maker? That's the question. Shaqiri brought on for Liverpool there in that wide area.
Just a couple of minutes left before half-time in extra time. Verratti just forcing the ball into Neymar. Does get the ball back to PSG. Can he catch him on the last man? Icardi, a couple of step-overs. Cuts it back inside. Mbappe twisted in the box, trying to find an option. Went for a Dristagan again. And once again, the attack is dealt with well.
The referee has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time.
Last chance in this half. Chamberlain goes for the ball into Mohamed Salah. Slightly too heavy. And that should do us for half-time. In extra time, it will do us. Score still at 1-1 and 15 minutes away from seeing who will come out on top in extra time. Our second game of the day. See someone in the chat, Danny Gibbs, saying, has France beat France been bad? It hasn't. We're just in shock. We've seen 3 different teams tonight within 2 games. This is just the difference.
It'll probably come out later. Don't worry. We'll probably get a France v France dose later on. But for right now, it's PSG against Liverpool. And Pablo Sarabia being brought on there for Di Maria. It's Mbappe pushed out to the left and Neymar brought in as that central cam, with Sarabia holding the right.
Will those players be the all-important difference? That is the question. Hopefully will be answered in the next 15 in-game minutes. Are we going to need extra time? Are we going to need another change late on? This is the big game.
Been poor since he's entered.
When this, you're into the prize money, Richard. 12k FIFA points guaranteed. A top 4 finish guaranteed. Chance now for PSG. Neymar whips the ball into the box. And one thing I've been impressed with, Richard, how deep these CDMs have been. I've seen it a couple of times. Fabinho, Wijnaldum, they've literally been doing a centre-back's job.
I would imagine the depth is probably quite low here. I feel like the ball's just falling more to PSG than it is Liverpool right now. I said Neymar would be instrumental in this game. He's yet to make a noise.
Not done too much, has he? The Brazilian attacker. Can he do something now? And that was the chance. But it was his fellow Brazilian companion that unfortunately prevented him from scoring a goal, and that was Alisson. Chance down the other end. Is he back on side? Sadio Mane? No, he's not. Will be pulled back. Richard, we're 2 minutes away from our first penalty shootout of the evening.
Maybe just a little bit of composure, you know. Just to Ball roll that to take an extra touch. Mbappe getting the best of Trent, but the Liverpool man does well. Chance for PSG.
The fourth official has indicated
Last chance of the game if he can find it back to his feet. Plays it back to Alisson. Has to get that ball forward if Liverpool want a chance, if they want to attack. Or are they going to be settling for penalties? If not, PSG will get the last attack now. Idrissa Gana Gueye finds the ball into the feet of Neymar. Unfortunately, slightly too heavy. Robertson gets the ball back to Alisson. It's penalty shootout in our first time this evening. Shaqiri steps up first, goes left, and scores a goal.
Good pen from Shaqiri, the substitute. Pablo Sarabia stepping up, greened it, save.
Chance for Liverpool, they miss as well.
Marco Verratti up to the spot, down the middle. All these pens are green.
Timing them green, but they're not all finding the back of net. Chance now, it's just saved again.
Another substitute, Icardi. Stepping up to the spot, looking for the top left, he dinks it. The man's been watching Richard Buckley.
If it's Richard Buckley or Cooljoker, there's another save. And to potentially to win the tie. Cooljoker to book a place in the final four. Neymar steps up, goes for the left bottom corner, and he scores. That's job done. And the Italian player is back in a top four in the Open Series. It might be July, it's not June anymore. But he's done enough to get into the final four. And yeah, he certainly has been watching you, Richard, with those penalties. I mean, if I'm on the other side of that, I'm fuming at that. How's that happened? How's it gone into the back of the net? Can we do it again, please?
Dink to the top corner, time it green, the perfect penalty. Very, very rarely will it ever get saved, even if you dive to that side. A great penalty shootout there. He had to resort to that, though, because the first one he took got saved. So he's probably thinking, back against the wall here, I've got to go into the arsenal. I've got to go into the tool play, the toolbox, the tool play, whatever that is. I've got to go into the playbook and pull out the dink penalty. But Cooljoker progresses through and guarantees himself some prize money.
Let's have a look at some of those highlights, Richard. As we said, we say goodbye to our only Dutch competitor in our monthly finals tonight in Cledboy. He did play as Liverpool, but he did kick off the game with a fantastic goal there from Sadio Mane. It didn't live for that long though. And lovely sort of silky scoop turn in and around the danger. Then there was that mistake from Navas, which gave Mohamed Salah one of the easiest goals he'll score all night long. Then Mbappe responded. These were the chances late on into the game. A couple of them went into extra time. That sort of nothing happened there. And I mean, we're in penalty shootout, and this was the deciding penalty. Went for the left bottom corner finish. Alisson went the wrong way. And as you said, that's Cooljoker into the final four. The best thing about how the bracket has been played tonight, we don't have any semi-finals that are in paper as of yet, Richard. So still lots to play for, and we can't wait to see our remaining two quarter-final matches, especially MHaywxrd against Waderek, two players that we saw just last week in the Open Series. So they'll be feeling fresh, they'll be feeling up for this one. And hopefully, one of those two, as we know, will 100% be booking themselves a place into the Final Four. But if you look to this top eight, MHaywxrd is always within a shout. The man wins Open Series tournaments. However, just last week, he lost in extra time in the Open Series to Hezers, who just got knocked out in the monthly finals in the top eight. So anyone's beating anyone.
MHaywxrd's probably looking at this bracket and thinking, Hezers has just been eliminated. Maybe this is my tournament to take, but with the other players that are already in the semi-final, Ajdin and also now Cooljoker, tough competition if MHaywxrd does want to go one step further. He's won a weekly invitational. He wants to make it a monthly. He's got a tough task even in front of him right now with the pole, Waderek.
I mean, it's bad news as well. If you're not a France fan, France against France is back. We're back to reality in our third game of the evening. I mean, they're a team that have certainly delivered, and for MHaywxrd, that has been his team. He's never used really anyone else in the Open Series. It's a winning team for him, and he will be playing as France. As you said, Waderek, a player that we saw for the first time, our only Polish competitor in the Open Series. We know what great PlayStation 4 players they have gotten and have sort of proven on the global stage. Look at Dami, look at Miloš, just to name a couple of these guys and of what they've been able to achieve in the global series. Hopefully Waderek will be the next name amongst that. And on that note, Richard, here we go. France against France. Our third match of the evening is underway.
I don't want anybody else, Brandon, to tell me how these two players got to this stage. What were their bracket play looking like earlier in the day?
I mean, two fantastic stories, Richard, of how they both got to this stage. Mitch Hayward, just doing Mitch Hayward things, Richard. Big wins and a couple of big ones sort of stepping out for me. He beat Tony Betico, 69. 4 goals to nil in the round of 16 to get to this stage, alongside scoring 5 goals in the round of 32. On the other side of that for Waderek. A number of chances, a number of goals. And speaking of goals, we have a breakthrough in this one. Who is it? It's Haywxrd. He's ready to play. He's not messing about. It's monthly final time for the UK FIFA Pro. And Wissam Ben Yedder breaks the deadlock just a couple of minutes into this one.
Cracking start for Haywxrd. He said he had some tough matches and always seemed to prevail. Waderek now up against it, but this player, he does have a good history here in the Open Series. He beat the likes of Sebastian earlier on in the tournament, David FIFA, and also Queti from Ukraine to make it to this stage of the tournament.
And Quercy Bilosh, a player that we actually saw just last week, Richard. In the Open Series. Here comes Haywxrd looking for a second in. It's tight. Speaking of last week, speaking of the bracket, we're actually on opposite sides. I thought Quercy Bilosh actually played Waderek. They're actually on completely different sides of the bracket. Waderek did play Hezers, though. And that's who he lost to in the semi-finals last week. That could have been 2. Just flashes wide off the left-hand post. It's just been non-stop attacking football from Haywxrd ever since the first ball was kicked. Sort of incredible start to this one. Relentless attacking football. Griezmann. That's a Kansé. Mbappe trying to build a chance. To do everything he could to get that ball round the corner, but we might be in July, Richard. There's one man that hasn't moved an inch, and that's Clement Lenglet. He makes his introduction tonight of his first major interception.
Of course, Clement Lenglet always going to be in the team, always going to be at the heart of that defence. Alongside Rafael Varane. Mbappe on the finesse. Is he offside? He is. Ben Yedder just offside, but Mbappe with a cracking finesse shot on the edge of the box. I talk about those traits that this France attack possesses, and Mbappe holding the majority of the important traits. Both finesse shot and outside the foot shot he has in the locker.
A couple of people asking who is who. It's Haywxrd in the blue strip, the blue shirt, white shorts and red socks of France from left to right, and it's Waderek in that away strip for France. Currently 1-0 down is Waderek. Mitch Haywxrd broke the deadlock just a couple of minutes in, and he's been unlucky not to find a second in this tie. Could that goal happen now? Kansé back. Interchanges just about enough with Rafael Varane to ensure. It comes to nothing. Waderek, his first chance of this tie. Antoine Griezmann in an unfamiliar left-hand position. What a tackle that is from Varane. A slide tackle clearance. Proved to be enough for the Real Madrid and French defender. Ensure the game still stays at 1-0.
See, Quentin Tolisso in at fullback there. I think it is for Waderek. Yep, in at right back is Tolisso. He's cued a pause as well as the Polish player. That early goal seeming to have potentially made him want to change the way that he's playing right here.
Mbappe's got a lot of space there. Quite a deep line. And goes for Varane and Lenglet. Lovely ball around the corner, but not enough power in it, not enough zap on the ball to get that one round the corner. Last chance of the half. It's got to be Mbappe. Interchange as well. Ben Yedder doing everything he can to find that really small gap between the two centre-backs. Wasn't big enough. Pogba. That's a great ball into Ousmane Dembele. Lovely chance now. Ben Yedder cuts it inside, looks for that finesse. No, he doesn't. Goes for a drag back instead for MHaywxrd. Half-time hit. MHaywxrd does lead by a goal to 0, but should have easily had a second, Richard. He'll be thinking to himself, how have I not got a second in this tie from the chances that I've been able to create within the first 45 minutes?
And I'm just looking here to see what could be the change at half-time for Waderek, because it's not really clicking for him in this opening sort of, 45 minutes. The early goal that he conceded potentially just threw him off his trail, threw him off the way that he was playing, because you have a game plan. You're going into a match against a player of Mitch's quality, arguably the favourite in the tournament, and then, within 30 seconds of the game being loaded up, you're 1-0 down. Game plan's out of the window.
Pogba. What's that cutback? There could be an option there. Could be a chance for MHaywxrd to make it 2. And finally, after knocking on the door, he finally has an answer. And it's Kylian Mbappe that doubles the scoreline for MHaywxrd here. 2 goals to 0. He leads in probably the perfect way to start this second half.
What a start. Mitch, he's just got an uncanny knack for scoring at the right time. And what I mean by that is he could have scored in the 39th, 40th, 45th minute, Brandon. But because he scored first couple of minutes of the first half, first couple of minutes of the second half, it's so demoralising. It's so disheartening if you're an opponent of his.
It's all those timings of the goals, isn't it, where we saw Waderek at half-time make a couple of changes. It wasn't the start that he wanted to have in this tie, and he was struggling to create all half long. He made a defensive change and conceded just a couple of minutes into the second half. It's only going to hurt. Mbappe into N'Golo Kante, looking for a third in the tie. N'Golo Kante into Antoine Griezmann. All the time in the world, a little bit of goalkeeper movement potentially was enough for Lloris, but for how long is it enough? Griezmann back to goal, not that long.
Not that long at all. I saw someone predict in the chat 3 goals to 0 for MHaywxrd. He looks like a man possessed right now, a man wanting a monthly invitational final.
That's what he's leading on to at the moment, Richard. Unbelievable scenes. Just a very dominant performance, isn't it? All areas of his game are so good. He knows what to do. He knows how to play a 4-2-3-1. He knows how to use this French team. You honestly say in Europe, Richard, out of this month, a player that knows how to use this French team the best way. He's made grand finals. He's come close. He's been unlucky at times. But maybe he wants to sort of round out this month in the best way possible with a title-winning performance. If he can go just 2 more steps in the semi-final and the grand final, he'll pick up $400 tonight and he will be our champion. Griezmann just offside there, offside trap played.
In terms of quality players that we've seen, especially in Europe, I would say Mitch probably getting to that NA level of King CJ, Brandon, at the minute, in terms of repeated showings, repeated top 4s, repeated finalists. Never really gets beat heavily. He's sort of joining the Bosnian or King CJ discussion, in my personal opinion.
He deserves to be in there as well. 100% Richard. I know King CJ was our champion last week, but he often does make finals and sometimes often does struggle. Ben Yedder, laughing his way into a 4-goal lead in this one. The ball just fell to his feet. The goalkeeper couldn't get in near him, and he just run it into an open net. It's as simple as that. MHaywxrd, 4-0. Unfortunately, not the performance that Waderek would have wanted. He can play a 3-5-2. He can play a 1-9 and still not get back into this tie, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's been a real tough matchup here for Waderek. The matchmaking's not been favourable for him whatsoever. Just having a look, Brandon, the new promo for FIFA 20 Ultimate Team just been released right now, and it looks like it's a pre-season promo when you can complete objectives in FIFA 20 that actually help your FIFA 21 Ultimate Team, giving you boosts at the start of next year's title. Team of the Year's back in packs as well.
It's interesting to see how that pre-season promo does sort of move and expand and develop over the next couple of months or weeks. Here's Ben Yedder into Mbappe. 4-0. We know he's going to be booking a place in the semi-finals already. Has to be confident and has to be proud of himself, Waderek. We only saw him last week for the first time in the Open Series, and the fact he's been able to make another top 8 finish is something he should certainly be taking into next month in August with a smile on his face.
Well, he's one of the top 8 players from the month of July out of thousands that have entered, Brandon. However, it's a bittersweet because you are the top 8, but you won't get him away from prize money, aren't you, as well? So it's a very, very bittersweet feeling.
I'm so close, and just one win away. Probably look at this bracket and say, one man do not match me up against is MHaywxrd. The Foot Verified Pro would have represented Sheffield United in the Premier League. We'll be moving into our semi-final and our final 4 here in tonight's competition. Guarantees himself at least $100, 12,000 FIFA points to do it without conceding the goal. Only shows you how good this player is. Wants number 5, will find number 5. Nabil Fekir, that's a cherry onto the top of this cake with an unbelievable, simple finish. And this is MHaywxrd looking very strong in tonight's monthly finals.
A very fluffy, buttercream filled cake, shall I add, as well. He's absolutely smashed that first game, in all honesty. A beautiful finish at the end of the game there from Nabil Fekir. The same substitutions, always making their impact on the game. Benjamin Mendy, Fekir, and also the left cam, I believe it's Coleman, who gets brought on for Mitch Hayward there at the end of the game, and you have to say he's the one to beat. He is the man to watch in this tournament.
No, he really is indeed. Let's have a look at those highlights again. As we said, it was all one-way traffic. And it was only one player that was scoring the goals in this game, and that's no offence to Waderek. It was just that good from MHaywxrd. It was 3 minutes into the game where Ben Yedder got the party started for France, and then quite a long time back into the game. It was in the second half where Mitch actually found his second goal after sort of chance after chance that just wasn't finding the back of the net. And as soon as that second one went in, the goals just started to fly in, didn't they, Richard?
They did indeed, Brandon. That's what it means. For the bracket, we're going to be seeing MHaywxrd matching up against Cooljoker 96, a game that I'm sure Open Series fans would have been hoping that we'll see here. Two very recognisable names in the European Open Series. One final quarter-final left to conclude. It's going to be iPasku up against Thomas.OM to find out who will be joining Ajdin Riyadh in the semi-finals.
Yeah, that'll be our final game of today. Another great game as well coming up. We'll give you the sort of run of how both of these two got to this stage in the tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one will be played again. Will it be France against France? Will we be blessed with Liverpool for a third time this evening? Or will we maybe see that man behind you, Richard, in Neymar for PSG again? We saw them once tonight. We will be seeing them again in the tournaments. Cooljoker did book a spot in the Final Four. And I can tell you right now, it's not the best of news. It's going to be France against France. No Liverpool. No PSG, back to the usual scenes as we're going to be seeing iPasku up against Thomas.OM. It's going to be a great one, this one. Germany against Spain. Two players that we've also seen before in the Open Series. Not been winners, not been grand finalists, but have made a run in the tournament. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this one's going to be playing out, Rich.
While we are waiting for this game to get underway, Brandon, we've seen the pre-season promo hitting our accounts right now. So I've got a question for you. We've had an unbelievable year of promos this year in FIFA 20. Out of the item designs, so for example, you see that one behind you there, your own very special foot item. Which is your favourite foot item design? What's the favourite promo that you've seen in terms of the design of the actual items in-game?
It's a great question. I think.
Let us know in the chat as well.
Summer Heat's quite flashy, but there was a certain detail about Foot Birthday that I just thought was rather special. There was a certain detail on the item. But I mean, Team of the Year, Team of the Season, they're always pretty flashy. Team of the Season so far, they took into account, of course, the current climate and situation and still made a promo out of it and made a good promo out of it. But yeah, Team of the Year is always quite flashy. You can see Mitch in the chat. Summer Heat, again, Summer Heat's quite flashy, but I think Foot Birthday, I do think Foot Birthday just snatches it.
Mine, potentially controversial, Ultimate Scream. I love the design of the Ultimate Scream foot items with the black and orange feel. I think it's a promo that goes underutilized, shall I say, in FIFA.
Do you like a little bit of a spooky one, do you?
I do, yeah, and usually I'll listen to a bit of spooky music while I'm playing. I used to have, I had the Ultimate Scream Aguero in like November time, and just around that time I'd always try and bust out a little bit of maybe a haunted playlist while we're playing with Aguero. Something that's very spooky right now is iPasku. He'll be terrified by this start from Thomas.OM inside the first 7 minutes. Breaking the deadlock, the German.
I mean, unbelievable run as well in the tournament today, Richard. We're talking about different promos while Thomas.OM is scoring goals for fun. Some big results today. Across the round of 64 all the way to the round of 8 where he finds himself now, aka the quarterfinals, I should say. One of those being against David RTA, a player that we know very well, the Spaniard, losing 3 goals to 2 in the round of 16, which was enough for Thomas to book a place into our final 8. On the other side of that for iPasku, beat Oliver Sigurdsson 1-0 in the round of 32 and beat Teabag 3-0. A player that, again, we've seen twice this month in July. Unfortunately, fall out in the round of 16. He came so close to tonight's broadcast. Again, if you don't know the story of tonight, it was a 64-man tournament to decide who would be on the broadcast, who would be in the final 8 of our monthly finals. And these are the final 8. This is our last quarter-final of the day as well. So after this one is done, we'll have just 4 players left in the July monthly finals, battling it out for that prize pot, as we mentioned. $400 to first place, and in total, $1,000 all in.
You're talking about Teabag, a player that you'd probably expect to see in the monthly finals as part of the top 8. He's been a consistent name, as you mentioned, and I was quite surprised when he actually didn't make it through to the top 8 this evening.
I think the fact he's already made 2 broadcasts, Rich, isn't he, this month in July, and we know how difficult it is to get onto a broadcast and get into the top 8. You always say it. It's a huge achievement, just getting in. Just getting into the final 8. Something you should always be proud of. This is the money game. This is the big one. You win it, you go into the prize pot, and suddenly your efforts are all rewarded. You know, even if you lose in the next game, you have got a 3rd place matchup which you can fall back on. Or on top of that, you can keep your run going in the tournament and book a place in the grand finals. So much on the line. And the best thing is we're only 2 months deep into the Open Series.
Plenty more action in the Open Series to be coming up, Brandon, throughout the rest of the summer. And we're very grateful to be at the heart of it here on the PlayStation Open Series. That early goal from Thomas, the only real talking point of this match so far, coming up to a 3rd concluded already. Just going quick last note on the promo chat. I did like the Team of the Year design. I thought it looked very regal. But the foot birthday with the icing on the side and the sort of confetti, was it? The party flakes on top of the shavings, the 99s.
I thought it was sprinkles.
Thousands, whatever you want to call them. Sprinkles, hundreds and thousands. Some call it confetti. It's for interpretation, and you know you've made a good promo.
I've got confetti on top of my ice cream or cake. I'm not eating that.
I mean, it depends how good the cake is.
I just had to take a turn to the right behind my sort of shoulder and have a little look at what it is. I can confirm it is a sprinkle. I think hundreds of thousands were sort of more the little round shape, the little balls. So what's your second favourite then? For birthday?
Probably not. Do you know what? I actually really did enjoy the Champions League Road to the Final design. Is that you Googling the Champions League Road to the Final design right now? Antoine Griezmann levelling up the game. iPasku at 1 apiece here in this quarter-final matchup.
Just like that, the Spaniard is able to reply in this time. 1-1 on the scoreline. Drops the shoulder and goes with the left boot of Griezmann. There's a reason why he's in this team. He's not for everybody. He's not a starter for everybody in this France side. Been in front of goal. He is deadly. He is good. And once again, he's just proved his worth. Chance down the other end straight away for Thomas. There goes the half-time whistle here. 1-1 on the scoreline, and it was a late goal into the first half, which meant that this would be an all-even playing field heading into the second leg. Look at the chances between the two. There really isn't too much to talk about or too much to say on, honestly. 3 shots between the two. It was Paxton had 2 shots compared to the 1, but an early start for Thomas and a late goal in this second half, being the all-important difference here so far, Rich, in our last quarter-final of the day.
And you can tell how competitive a game it is when the passing accuracy, 92 and 93% respectively for the both players. What are you thinking then, Brandon? Road to the final design. Are you a fan?
I'm on board. I mean, it's Champions League, isn't it? So there's always a special feel around that competition. And you sort of question if the Champions League touchwood will continue to happen like it is planned to. What special items are we going to see there?
Well, in this promo that we're seeing right now, a lot of the road to the final foot items. For example, have you still got Kent in your club, Brandon?
Yeah, he's here still.
He's just been upgraded to an 87 rated.
Oh my God. Immediately signs up to Weekend League again this week. 3 rating upgrade, that is.
99 pace, 99 agility, 99 balance, 94 finishing, 91 stamina. So make sure you go into your club, check it out, see if you've got any untradables. A lot of the live foot Champions League and Europa League items have been upgraded. Since the break, in all honesty, this game has gone a little bit stale in terms of the chance creation, I have to admit.
It's certainly been an end-to-end tie. There hasn't been that many chances to call about or to talk about. Wins this, plays against Ajdin in the final 4. Pogba back to Griezmann, building into this attack is Thomas OM, looking to find a second. Big touches, heavy touches in the box from Ousmane Dembele. Unfortunately, I mean that he will lose possession in the end, just too heavy to handle. Well, some of those touches. Pogba tries to play Griezmann, and once again possession is overchanged, and no one really been able to find a way into the tie. As we said, if we are drawing, extra time will be needed. We've already seen penalties once tonight. We might not need it again, but I'm sure we'll be seeing extra time at some point. Griezmann. Just can't get that ball into Ben Yedder as he wanted to. Is it time for a couple of subs? Is it time for Kingsley Coman to inject that pace into the team? For the likes of Thomas in the last couple of in-game minutes. Griezmann. Here is a chance now. Not for so long, Hernandez in at fullback, and once again provided why he is in fullback.
Again, just really not too much to shout about in this match as it sort of dwindles down. Is there going to be a late flurry from either player in the final 10 minutes? Or are we looking potentially at another penalty shootout to find out who will be our final player entering the top 4 in our monthly Invitationals final?
When will this chance come in? A handful of skill moves combined there. A couple of hill-to-hill. Chance now for France. Is he onside? Apparently he is. And Antoine Griezmann to potentially snatch a late goal for Thomas.
Cracking finish. Cracking build-up play as well. It was slow and deliberate. And then as soon as he got into the final third, whipped across the box for Antoine Griezmann, who now exiting the field. He scored the goal. Ben Yedder exiting as well. It's going to be Coleman, Fekir, and Blaise Matuidi coming on as a central attacking mid, left attacking mid, and CDM trio to try and see this game out for Thomas. But a great, great piece of possession play, Brandon, to put him in front.
I think the one thing that has been the most impressive to me, Richard, is how Mbappe has actually been played out wide this whole game. He's not been down the centre where many people enjoy him to play in the cam or the striker role. We often sort of say that he can play out wide. He can offer you extra pace, and if you need him to cut in for a finesse, he certainly could do that as well. There's not long left in the tie. 2-1. Thomas does lead.
You think, where is Mbappe going to be strongest? It's going to be against the slower defenders, the players that he can bully a little bit more. Why do players play Cristiano Ronaldo as a wide cam? Because not only does he have the pace, but he has the physicalities. If you're telling me, I'll give you two options. I can either say you can either play Mbappe against Benjamin Mendy / Tolisso or Pavard or whoever it is at fullback, or you can play Mbappe against Lenglet and or Varane. I know who you're going to pick, and it's going to be that fullback.
He's still keeping his place there in these last 15 minutes. Is Mbappe. 3 changes, though, for Thomas. Lots of pace injected onto the field. Long ball over the top. And Lloris does get enough and gets his hands onto the ball. A chance to break and a chance to counter-attack, in fact. iPasku cuts it back in. There's a shot. There's a goal. You can bring on Blaise Matuidi. You can bring on defensive changes. But iPasku will score with not a forward, it's Tolisso off the bench.
Corentin Tolisso picking up where Mbappe, Griezmann, Ben Yedder couldn't, making a run from midfield and smashing it in to that bottom right corner. I think this might be one of the final pauses for either of these two players as well, if we do have the maximum pause on for the friendly game mode. It could have been turned off, I'm not really sure on the logistics of that particular move, but tell you what, 5 minutes left to play. I said penalties, extra time potentially could be needed. It's looking more of a reality right now.
We've seen it before, we honestly could see it again. Kingsley Coman will come onto the field. It's his last 4 in-game minutes for iPasku.
He's in.
And Thomas break the deadlock, though. Coman dropping the shoulder left and right. You've got to be careful diving it in the box. Could have been close to a penalty there. Defended by Varane, and a couple of minutes left. Wins the ball back. Now here's Thomas again for another chance. Rush that one slightly. Lenglet picks up the ball back again for iPasku. Keeps losing the ball, though. Can't keep losing the ball. So eventually, you will get punished. Eventually, Thomas will get one more chance. That was the chance. Nabil Fekir runs straight into Varane.
Yeah, 2 centre-backs right there. So, 2 centre-backs doing exactly what they're in the team to do. Varane at one end, saving an attack. Lenglet at the other, saving an attack. And extra time is needed here to find a winner. Neither player has, in my opinion, done enough to win the game. I think both of them have been off the boil, shall I say, off the pace a little bit. But with 30 minutes left to play, it's all up for grabs.
It certainly is indeed, as we said, this is the big one. Last name into the hat for the Final Four. Prize money guaranteed. FIFA points guaranteed to whoever can pull themselves out of this time into a position where they are winning this game in extra time. We are on the way. 30 more minutes. He's in front of us. Which way will this tie go? In the favour of the German or the Spaniard for a place in the Final Four. Both made their 3 changes, the defensive changes as well. Interesting, they both put on 2 midfielders. Corentin Tolisso and Blaise Matuidi getting the nod. There is a chance. The
Free kick.
Paxu goes back for a free kick, just 18 metres out. Ben Yedder's over it. Is he going to go for a direct shot? There is a player on the line in Lenglet. Plays it short. One off the training ground. Mbappe. Scoop turn back to goal. Chance is still just about alive. Back to Ben Yedder. The ball will fall. And eventually just about. The danger is dealt with by Thomas. A massive long ball back across. That is sort of suicidal play.
Just about got away with
risky.
it, didn't he?
So dangerous playing that sort of ball across the back line. Does get away with it though. Nearly didn't. And Mbappe could have been running away in celebration. Just got to tighten things up and secure things up at the back as Thomas. A couple of risky mistakes and he's looked a bit dodgy these last couple of in-game minutes. Cannot afford to make those sort of mistakes.
Two minutes remaining inside this first half. But again, neither player really finding the cutting edge.
The player's sort of struggling, Richard. Half time and extra time. Scores still at 2-2. Nothing to cheer about, nothing to separate the two. They've had the more chances. That's Paxu, but unfortunately it hasn't changed the scoreline at all. A couple of good saves and good defensive blocks being the key difference here. 15 minutes left, or we're going to be going to another penalty shootout. I already saw that today in our second match of the day where Cooljoker won with PSG against Liverpool. Are we going to be seeing another penalty shootout for the more traditional France against France? 15 minutes in front of us to decide whether that will be the case or whether there will be a late goal. All it takes is one chance, one mistake, or one piece of magic in the final third, which could be the difference between you getting into the prize pot and booking a place in the final four.
Who's going to have the bottle? Who's going to be able to take that chance when it comes?
Here is Thomas now. Chance will fall into Coman. He falls back into Lenglet. Possession will go back in the hands of the German in Thomas. Not for so long. These final balls in the final third have not been good enough.
It's all Thomas though, Brandon. Literally all Thomas since the half-time point here in the second half of extra time. Since about the 110th minute, this last 5-6 minute spell, he's been very dominant.
He's just got to show us a bit more in possession though. I think we're near enough at penalties, Richard, already.
Mistake.
Was there one chance? Is this the chance? Nabil Fekir, 120th minute in the game, still with the feet of Nabil Fekir. Gets around the corner, goalkeeper goes down to ground. He's offside anyway. It won't come to anything. 2 minutes of added time. Last chance saloon for either of these two to get the ball forward, to make something happen in the last chance of the game. Will Paxu be able to snatch it? Mbappe, a couple of ball rolls. Unfortunately, a penalty shootout will be needed. Into it we go. The spot in the semi-final up for grabs. It's iPasku to step up with Coman first. First penalty, looking for the goal. It's saved.
Plays with Tweedy, stepping up to the mark. dropping to the left, and it's saved.
He was the hero in the game, Talisso. Can he be the hero from the spot? He can't be.
Is anyone going to save a penalty or score a penalty? Kingsley Coleman, first one to score.
And there is the breakthrough for Thomas in this tight. Ben Yedder to restore a little bit of hope. Misses again.
Fekir steps up, times it green.
He misses this and it's all over. Yet to score a penalty, yet to put one into the back of the net. Goes left and eventually will score.
Dembele to win it here. Goes to the right, saved, we continue.
Must score though, Richard. It must be a goal from Mbappe. Normally Mr. Reliable for France, he will score.
Still has the chance to win it. Does Kylian Mbappe here. Goes to the right and does score and settles it. It was a little bit nervy at the end, but it is settled by a penalty shootout. We thought for a second that Thomas potentially could have bottled that. But in the end, after having that 2-goal advantage, bringing it back to 2 apiece, he scored his 5th and final penalty to end the series 3-2. 4 games, 2 penalty shootouts already. The semi-final is going to be crazy.
I mean, we said it was going to heat up in the monthly finals, and it certainly has done that. Such narrow margins in massive games, and sometimes when you can't separate 2 players over 90 minutes or extra time, it has to go to penalties. Congratulations to Thomas OM, who books a place in the Final Four. Let's take a look at some of those highlights from that game. As we said, there was chances at either end, and Thomas certainly was the player that had most of the possession and most of the chances, but the scoreline didn't really reflect that, Richard.
It didn't, no. He was creating chances, but again, the clinical edge really was the difference. We thought that the game was going to be over when Griezmann slotted that in from close range, but Tolisso answered back literally straight away from the kickoff. No chance at all to settle. This was the winning penalty. Mbappe slotting it in to the right-hand side.
And this is the Final Four, though, Richard. These are the names we'll be seeing again in the tournament, in the big money matches. Who'll be joining that grand final? There's only 2 spots there. Cooljoker against MHaywxrd, and Ajdin, as you said, he's already taken out 2 previously weekly invitational winners earlier today in AMK, if I get my words out, and Hezers. And now he's up against Thomas Ohem, who's just come off the back of a penalty shootout after a 2-2 matchup in the 90 minutes and extra time intervals that were available. One from the penalty spot, kept his nerve, and as you said, our next game will be Cooljoker against MHaywxrd when we do jump into those semi-finals. But things are heating up in this one, Richard, in our July monthly finals, because there's some serious money on the line now.
There is indeed. If you want to get a piece of the money, if you think you're good enough, make sure you go to this link just down below. It's compete.playstation.com. Sign up, link your ESL account and your Sony PlayStation account, and we can see you in the monthly finals in August. Make sure you do it, get signed up, and get competing.
Yep, it's as easy as that. Get yourselves involved if you think that you can. Of course, battle it out in the Open Series, and we might see you in the month of August. But we are going to go to a quick break. When we are back, we will have semi-final action underway for our monthly finals in July. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
So many world-famous players, they started online.
We are good to go for our first match of the stream.
We're here for FIFA 20 action.
Who's going to be the overall grand final victor? The next PlayStation FIFA superstar.
I think the level of play that we're currently looking at, and it's fantastic. No one leaves today empty-handed.
PlayStation.
Welcome back once again to the PS4 Tournaments Open Series monthly finals for July. We've just seen 4 fantastic quarter-final games where 2 of them went to penalties, 2 of them were done in normal time. One of them had 5 goals in it, and that was MHaywxrd absolutely cruising into the Final 4. Richard, I mean, we're into our semi-final stages now. We'll take a look at the bracket. This is where the money starts to be distributed because, as we said, there is a $1,000 prize pot up for grabs tonight.
There is indeed, Brandon. The first semi-final that we're going to be seeing, I believe, Cooljoker against MHaywxrd, Ajdin Riyadh against Thomas OM. Also, a semi-final that will be coming up very shortly indeed. 4 players, all going to be earning minimum 12,000 FIFA points and the cash prize. 3rd and 4th match will be played also, I believe, off stream. But the game that we're going to be seeing, Cooljoker 96 against MHaywxrd. This is going to be fireworks.
I mean, the more important point of this game is as well, Richard, that Cooljoker used PSG in, I should say, our first game of the day. He's now changed to France. I don't know what this is. Is this if someone's not France against you, you have a bit more freedom to play as a Liverpool or PSG as well? I don't know what it is, but it was PSG in the first game, went to a penalty shootout, maybe wasn't the most confident in his performance there. Now changes to France against probably our favourite in the tournament, you would say, out of the Final 4 in MHaywxrd. From what we've seen in previous records, yes, Cooljoker had some great ones in the tournament this month and in June, but he's changed to France and now he's matching up MHaywxrd sort of at his own game.
You see it a lot in different games as well, where you might have a player using a specific, really good sort of fighter, for example, but as soon as that player isn't that fighter, it gives you liberty to try different players, to try different tactics. When somebody's not France, if we played against each other and you picked, for example, Liverpool, I would think, okay, well, I'm going to choose a different team that potentially counters Liverpool better. But when you pick France, you have to pick France because they are the best team. So in terms of the sort of hierarchy of it, you've got France in this strip at the top where only France are there, but then everybody else, there's about 3 or 4 teams that are in a little bracket underneath. I hope I've sort of explained that the best I could, but if you aren't France, you then have the liberty to choose other teams. If you are France, you sort of just got to sort of pluck it up and go, yeah, I'm going to pick France.
Yeah, it sort of seems to be the case, isn't it? But it was a really interesting sort of way of looking at it in terms of if someone isn't France and they are a PSG or a Liverpool, it gives you a bit more freedom. And I think that's something that Cooljoker has done. I think you look back last month, the man was playing as Liverpool. So he's Liverpool, he's been PSG, and he has been France. He has experimented with different teams in this tournament. We put a poll out to you guys in the Twitch chat. You responded, as you always do. We can see the Twitch chat as well, so we're doing our best to interact with any of you guys in this one. But, I mean, the question I put out to you guys is, do you think MHaywxrd is going to go all the way tonight after a 5-0 win in his last game? The man did not concede a single goal, Richard, and he's a previous champion in a couple of weekly invitationals here.
It's a very, very tough ask, isn't it, if he is to make it all the way to the final and win the tournament. But in front of him right now, he's got a very tough task in Cooljoker. If he's successful here, in my honest opinion, I think he goes all the way. And I think he wins the tournament. But this could be the biggest roadblock on his journey to the $400.
It certainly could be. Seeing Danny Gibbs in the chat says 100% he believes Mitch will win tonight's tournament. Further, $400 will go to the winner. $1,000 prize pool split, of course, evenly between the top 4. And all 12,000 FIFA points will be split between the top 4 as well. So lots of money up for grabs. FIFA points even in the prize pot for each of our semi-finalists. But we are underway. And it is MHaywxrd up against Cooljoker 96. France against France in this tie. It will be Cooljoker from left to right in the traditional blue shirt, white shorts and red socks of France, while MHaywxrd playing the white of France from right to left in this game. And so impressive, Richard, to see how impactful MHaywxrd has been involved in the Open Series. I've said it a couple of times and I'll continue to say it. One of the only people that are sort of grinding the game still to his level, top 100 finishes. Any opportunity he has to compete, he is taking it.
Absolutely. The drive and Real hunger is certainly there for Mitch Hayward. When we do call him Mitch, that's MHaywxrd, just for clarification. Cooljoker. Another player, though, that's been, over the last 2 months, heavily involved with the Open Series. Maybe not to the level that MHaywxrd has been at, but he's certainly been in and around the qualification for a number of different weeks. Cooljoker, and this is his time to shine.
It was in week 2 of July where he did book his route to the monthly finals. Didn't make a broadcast, unfortunately. One of the sort of only Italians that we didn't see. If you can cast your mind back to around about 30 days ago in last month's monthly finals, it was De Gui who came out as our champion. Another Italian player that kept on popping up and was able to go the full weight in our monthly finals. $400 in his back pocket.
See the same
Best
team
of one matches it.
pretty much all the time. Same substitution, same formation, same custom tactics from MHaywxrd. He's a man of regiment.
He's one of the few players as well, Richard, that sort of found his way to play with France. Got to that stage where we know the exact subs that he's going to make on the exact minute.
Or is that just more because we've seen him so many times? Becoming a regular face in the tournament.
And yeah, that back to Dembele. Lovely little cheeky scoop up in the air from Cooljoker. That one of the only players that brings on a fullback is MHaywxrd. It's a tactical change as well if you really think about it. What's your opponent doing later into a match? They are bringing on pacey wingers, pacey players. Kingsley Coman. Certainly the main candidate there that you're trying to cancel out. Here's Mitch Haywxrd. And there is a breakthrough just before the 30th minute mark. Mbappe back on the score sheet. And it's another goal in the locker for MHaywxrd in our semi-final here.
First time strike from Kylian Mbappe. Powerful into that bottom right corner across the goalkeeper. No chance Lloris is getting anywhere near that. And a third into this match. Mitch Haywxrd has the lead. Very rarely does he give a lead away, Mitch. So Cooljoker needs to bring everything and anything that he's got right now into this game.
That run from Ben Yedder at the bottom of your screen. He's just driving forward. Is Dembele. Coman's in support there on the edge. If he wants to play him, Coman will get the chance and will do everything he can to get the ball into the feet of the forward. Just cleared away by Varane. Impressive to think he's not conceded the goal over nearly 3 halves of FIFA. Could that all be changing now? Ben Yedder. Just wide. What's the chance that was?
Real big opportunity there. Squandered for Cooljoker.
chance before the end of the first half here. Long ball over the top. Won't come to anything, and that is another one of MHaywxrd's tactics, and that's Talisha in at fullback.
He's very well-rounded, pacey, strong. He's got good physicals, he's got good dribbling as well, which is quite important for a right-back. Agility and balance to be able to quickly turn and pivot to where the ball is sort of landing, where you need to be on the pitch. I think he's found what he wants in a right-back, and that sometimes isn't the best defender, but the best overall player from the options you've got, and Talisha fills that void perfectly for him.
It certainly does. Again, there's a number of differences that MHaywxrd makes about this French team. It's his own meta, so to speak, from a couple of things that he does differently to other players. I think that's why he's had so much success in the Open Series. Leads by a goal to 0. Can he hold on to this one, though?
Pogba leading to Wissam Ben Yedder. Now Ousmane Dembele taking over. Nice play around the back, but only as far as that France defence. And no matter what, you talk about the fullback changes, I can almost 99% guarantee that the centre-backs will always be the same. With both Lenglet and Varane among the back four in some capacity. Varane sometimes pushed over to right back, as you see Cooljoker done here, with Lucas Hernandez taking the right centre-back role, but Varane, Lenglet always in that back four.
On top of that as well, Richard, someone else to mention is that there was someone else earlier today that played Kimpembe in the centre-back role and then pushed out Varane to a more right-back position. But they're always going to be part of that back four, whether they're sort of moved around or shuffled. You're always going to be seeing those same players, Varane's, Lenglet's. Benjamin Mendy, usually part of the back four, not part of Cooljoker's back four. Patient build up from the Italian. Here is Cooljoker now. Kingsley Coman, hill to hill round the corner if he can get round the corner, but Lucas Hernandez proving why he's in at fullback and how strong he is. Pushing off the French attackers. This is our first semi-final of our monthly finals. Currently, MHaywxrd leads by a goal to 0. Very happy to get a second if it is possible. Pogba now, this is a great ball. Just 3 blue shirts around him, and Mbappe had no room to move or turn or to even lay off the ball.
Speaking of Mbappe, looking to get at Mitch's defence. Ben Yedder, chance. Oh, he's timed it yellow. He's timed it yellow and flashed it wide of the left post. And just at the 70th minute mark comes around, you see the substitutions coming on here. Mendy.
It's the same ones.
Coleman and Fekir.
The same subs every single time for MHaywxrd. Remember, these could be match-winning subs. If he can hold on to this, he's 20 minutes away from a final spot, alongside guaranteeing himself some serious prize money tonight in our monthly finals. It wouldn't be a first time he's made a grand final either. And I mean, especially after losing last week, Richard, I just feel like he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder that he wants to go and win tonight. He came so close last week, lost to Hezers in, I think, what was a bit of a shock for everybody. For a previous weekly invitational winner, he wants to do everything he can in his arsenal to go and get the win tonight. 20 minutes away from a grand final spot. It's the same 3 substitutions That could be a bit of a mistake out of the back. Cooljoker with a chance to break forward. Is Mbappe. Still with Mbappe, and eventually Lloris will be able to collect it.
Tell you what though, chances like that don't come around all too often. Snatched, the perfect way to describe that chance. Wide of the left post. You have to savour and you have to take those chances when they come. You see the offside trap played as well, just at the back. Done well to win it back. Has Cooljoker rallying in the final 15 minutes.
Coman. Slightly rushed that one. Slightly too rushed from MHaywxrd in the final third. Player that prides himself on making chances and scoring goals. Kante into Mbappe. Ben Yedder now. A couple of step overs. Doing everything he can. This is nice, really nice from Cooljoker. Back to Paul Pogba. I tell you what, that could be the goal of the month. Absolutely incredible from Cooljoker. So patient, so clinical with his passing. And Paul Pogba, of all people, yes, he misses a few. Yes, he skies a few into Rose in the last couple of weeks we've seen. But that was the time where he had to be perfect, Richard. And he was.
Just looking at my left monitor there, looking how that goal went in. About, 10 passes, building up, just taking the time, taking the possession play to a completely different level. And Paul Pogba, out of all the players on the pitch, sometimes he's even brought off in matches for Blaise Matuidi, for Tolisso, making his mark on the game right there, smashing it into the corner. What a goal.
Absolutely incredible. What a goal that was from Cooljoker. He knows what a player he's up against in MHaywxrd. It's not going to be an easy ride. And that goal was top draw. Really, really impressive. With 5 minutes left, is there more drama? Is there more extra time? Or is there a late goal? Pogba didn't need the drag backs, just needs to play that straight away. Two minutes left, plus additional time. MHaywxrd in possession again. Those late substitutions be the difference for him. Will he even get another chance? He tries to move that ball forward. There was a chance there building. We'll get back to it as soon as we can. The ball went out to Coman. I hope the game didn't disconnect, but fingers crossed it didn't.
Looked more like,
if it didn't, it could be into extra time.
It looked like more like the...
Oh no!
The stream... So basically how this works is we're broadcasting the live streams that the players are doing right now. The stream lags for a little bit. We come back. That's a game-winning goal from Ben Yedder.
Can't write it. We missed it. We saw the ball go down the left-hand flank and we just missed the winning goal. MHaywxrd. And you can see exactly why we missed it. The stream just lagging a little bit there. Everything, of course, done from home here. We'll go back and have a look at the replay to see how that goal did go in. But a really impressive one. There we go. You can see it on the build-up again. So the ball must have gone out wide, come back inside, and the slide tackle finish of all finishes in the end from Wissam Ben Yedder books a place in the grand final for tonight, Richard.
What, like FIFA 16, where the slide tackle finish was so strong, like you'd slide in, the ball would just go... Whoop. We've got the last goal here in the highlights. The guys in the truck managed to get it forward. You see that finish from Ben Yedder into the bottom left corner. Fantastic finish. And talk about leaving it late. Last kick of the game. MHaywxrd moves through to the final and guarantees himself $300. Unbelievable, Saints.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I mean, you can't write stuff like that. The time it lags a little bit, and then we miss the goal. But hey, that's what happens when you do a remote broadcast. Everybody is in the comfort of their own homes, and this is a fantastic broadcast that has been put together over the last couple of months. But we know one name is in that grand final. MHaywxrd knocks out Cooljoker by 2-1. But just a quick word, Richard, on that goal from Cooljoker. What a goal that was to make it 1-1 in the game. Paul Pogba on the end of it. It was a great finish.
It was a cracking finish, but unfortunately, Brandon, no one will remember all that. No one will remember the goal that Pogba scored. It will all be about Mitch going through with the last kick of the game. Let's have a look at the game in full in terms of the highlights and see the key moments from the match. Mbappe brought the deadlock here on the 30th minute. Great strike, and you'll see a similarity between the goal that Mbappe scored and the goal that Ben Yedder scored. What's the similarity? He hits both strikes first time. It were first time finishers, both from Ben Yedder and Mbappe. If you're not shooting first time in FIFA 20, add it to your repertoire. It will give you that extra goal.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. MHaywxrd books a place in the grand final, and more importantly, ensures he books $300. Let's just say guarantees $300 before that grand final even kicks off. If he wins it, he won't just be a champion, he will pick up $400 in total. But let's turn our attentions to our second semi-final that will be taking place in just a couple of minutes' time. It's going to be Ajdin as Liverpool up against Thomas OM, who will be using France. So no changes of teams there from Ajdin. Does win his last matchup, does stay with Liverpool. I think we put a poll out into the Twitch chat, and it's actually Ajdin that picks up the vote. 67% of the votes the Austrian pro did take.
I'm quite surprised by that, to be honest. I felt as though Thomas probably would have edged the poll, Brandon, but if Ajdin has succeeded in the Twitch poll, shall we say, between the two players, I think Thomas... It's hard to predict it because he won on penalties, whereas Ajdin won in 90 minutes. So it is a tough one. But hey, at the end of the day, Ajdin will be the victor here in the poll aspect of the match. And is he going to be victorious on the pitch? That's the question.
Yeah, will the poll actually mean for anything come 90 minutes of this tie? But just a different way he's been using Liverpool as Ajdin. Really, really impressive. I mean, he's been playing a 4-4-2 with the side. Shaqiri starts, Minamino doesn't start the game, and sort of roles reverse there in terms of Shaqiri comes off, Minamino comes on into the game late on. And it's just quite a refreshing way that Liverpool seem to be used in this one, Rich.
Yeah, in a 4-4-2, Firmino and Mane as the two central strikers, Mo Salah and Shaqiri out wide, and then Gini Wijnaldum and Fabinho as the two central midfielders in this Liverpool team. I think the first game of the day, it seems quite a long time ago now. I'm trying to think back to it. Defensively wasn't fantastic, but going forward, there was always an avenue. There was always an option, whether it be out wide, the two strikers linking up, or, as we saw, one of the goals in that game, Gini Wijnaldum making the run from midfield to create an extra body going forward. So I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I'm predicting more than 3 goals in this matchup, and I think we could be in for potentially an Ajdin-Mitch final.
I mean, as you said, look at what he's achieved, not just in total for tonight, but in the Open Series. We may not have seen him in the broadcast, but this is what the monthly finals is all about. We find those names, we get to see those names that might just be sort of one win or one defeat away from making it into a broadcast and into the technical final late. But he's knocked out 2 weekly invitational winners from this month, Richard. 2 players that have gone the full way in Swiss and on the broadcast when all the lights have been on them, when there's big prize money on the line. AMK, and as you said, Hezers earlier today. He's knocked them both out. So this man must be full of confidence. And he'll be thinking, right, Mitch Hayward's in that grand final. I want to play against him and I want to knock him out and I want to take an extra $100 from him and I want to be the champion tonight.
I want to go 3 for 3 in terms of previous weekly invitational champions eliminated from the tournament. It'd be one of the best runs that we've seen in Open Series history if he was to be successful and do that. However, it's a lot easier for us talking about it than it actually is for him to do it on the pitch. Let's not forget what both Mitch in the final and also the player in front of him right now have got. They've got quality, and it's going to be a very tough game because Thomas.om, he's a very, very good FIFA player.
Let's not forget as well that Thomas's game went to penalties. We had 2 quarterfinals that went to penalties in the monthly finals. If that doesn't say enough of how competitive this is, I don't know what will. You know, these are all the best of 1 matches. We know they're difficult. We know they're tight, and you often see extra time. I would say at least sort of 1 every 4 games. But to see penalties twice, 2 big penalty shootouts as well, which had money on the line, I think was massive tonight. And credit where it is due to Thomas for sort of keeping his nerve in that one, Richard, and ensuring that he has done enough to book a place into our Final Four. When that game is ready, we will be jumping into it. Ajdin as Liverpool against Thomas.om, our German competitor. Our only German competitor that is in tonight's Final 8 will be playing as France. But penalty shootouts, Rich, they're just so hard to play in. And, I mean, I wouldn't want to be in a penalty shootout when there's that sort of money on the line.
It's all about just trying to keep your bottle, trying to stick with your gut. I think a lot of the time you get inside your own head. If you take a penalty and it's saved, you then think, I've got to change direction. I've got to change the way that I was taking the penalties. And we saw the little dink into the top corner that Cooljoker did. That's a very viable way of scoring penalties. If you have got the confidence, time your penalties green, you get a better success rate of them going in. But at the end of the day, it's all down to a lottery. There's no real... You can give tips for penalties, but there's no sort of secret sauce that's going to win you every single penalty shootout. And if there is, I'm yet to discover it.
Yeah, but if we can, and before we jump into the game, we'll have a look at the prize money, if it is possible to look at, to show you the breakdown of the $1,000. And as we said, a big breakdown tonight. It's normally only $600 each week, but this is the prize money for tonight. If you finish in the top 4, which all of these guys have, and even though he's crashed out the tournament, Cooljoker, he will leave the tournament with at least $100. As you saw on the other side of that, 1 to 4 will guarantee themselves 12,000 FIFA points. Winner of tonight picks up $400. So MHaywxrd, for getting into the grand final, has already bagged himself $300, which isn't bad going at all. So yeah, there will be a 3rd place game that won't be on stream. So whoever loses this game plays against Cooljoker to battle out for 3rd place. And it's still quite respective, Rich. If you come 3rd, you come 4th, you get 12k FIFA points, which in itself is worth 80 English pounds, or let's say $100. And on top of that, you get $100 in cash as well. So it's not all bad.
Yeah, absolutely. A great opportunity for both of these 2 players. But we are going to be joining that 2nd semi-final in just a couple of minutes' time. Don't go anywhere, because after this, we're going to be finding out who will be joining Mitch in the final.
So many world-famous players, they started online.
We are good to go for our first match of the stream.
We're here for FIFA 20 action.
Who will be the overall grand final victor? The next PlayStation FIFA superstar.
I think the level of play that we're currently looking at, and it's fantastic. No one leaves today empty-handed.
PlayStation.
Well, welcome back once again to the PS4 Tournaments Open Series. We are underway in our matchup with 45 minutes has been played with a small couple of technical difficulties with the matchup, but touch wood, all seems to be okay. And it will be Liverpool against France in our second semi-final in the monthly finals. Shaqiri looking to break the deadlock. Instead, it will be Gini Wijnaldum, potentially well played and well recovered in the end. If you missed out on who's playing in this one and who's just had a breakthrough, it is Ajdin. On the stroke of half-time, Sadio Mane with it. A man that just keeps on knocking out big names in this tournament. Looks to try and take out another one, Richard.
Inexcusable defence right there from Thomas. He's tried passing out of the back. 92nd minute, or I should say 45 plus 2 already eclipsed. And he's tried passing out. He's been dispossessed, and Ajdin just comes straight back at him at the 45th minute. People, you hear excuses, I've conceded in the 45th minute. It's because you make mistakes just like that one. You cannot try and pass out of the back in such an erratic manner.
As you can see there, Richard, he was punished for it. Liverpool, the team that not anyone, I should say not everybody wants the back, but as we can see here, they seem to be playing really well for this young man. Our only Austrian player that made the final 8. Knocked out 2 weekly invitational winners earlier this month in July. He wants to get into a grand final. This is a massive game. You win it, you guarantee $300.
Big prize money.
Such a big game.
And also the opportunity to go into the monthly final to take on MHaywxrd. Keep us off his line. Lloris just does enough.
With this only being best of one, Richard, I mean, one goal wins games at times. Some matches we're lucky to see more than a goal.
Yeah, we typically tend to see a lot of what nils, 2-1s, low-scoring affairs because of the one-legged format of this tournament rule set.
Here's Thomas looking to find a way back into the tie. It was a penalty shootout win for him in the quarterfinals. That allowed for him to make it to the final four. Ben Yedder! Ooh.
Great chance from Wissam Ben Yedder. To be honest, you expect to see the back of the net rustling right there. Somehow, not even on target from Ben Yedder on that 5-star weak foot.
Such a great effort, unfortunately just wasn't good enough to be on target though. Wijnaldum. Back to Bobby Firmino, chance around the corner, Sané. I think of Salah and Mane and won it. Salah tries to whip that ball around the corner, but eventually it's dealt with by Rafael Varane. Into MVP here in the last 25 minutes. Who will be in that grand final? Who will be joining MHaywxrd for that championship title, that championship matchup? Will it be Liverpool-France? Will it be France against France if Thomas OM instead makes it that? This is nice from France. Not good enough though to outscore Joe Gomez at the back. Got to be careful here. Tries to be composed and gives possession back, and he's going to be offside. Ben Yedder into the pause menu. We will go. 20 minutes left in it. Is it time to make that sort of important change of? I mean, he's not even on the bench, Minamino. Minamino not even getting a look in. It will be Oxlade-Chamberlain on that right midfield position, and Jordan Henderson just coming on late on into the game to sort of close the door and to hopefully secure this win into the 4-2-3 when he will go as well.
Yeah, change of formation into a potentially more defensive formation with the two CDMs sitting a little bit deeper than they would as central midfielders in a 4-4-2 setup. 20 minutes left to play. Henderson, much more of a defensive-minded player than Gini Wijnaldum is. Player just you mentioned there, Brandon, Joe Gomez. I've been very impressed with Joe Gomez, in all honesty, in the Open Series. Whenever it's been Liverpool, you always look at Van Dijk, but again, look at Gomez. He's strong, he's pacey, and he doesn't look out of place next to Virgil.
Of course, he hasn't got the exact same in-game body build of Virgil van Dijk, but it's not far off for the rating that he is. Certainly a great player. And we saw that when he picked up a community team of the season item in-game. Became such a good player that during that sort of month period or a couple of weeks, he was in teams and he was usable. Can this Liverpool side book a place in the grand final? And Ajdin just to keep on making a name for himself in this tournament. Tell you what, that's a mistake. Koeman to score. He's gone for the sweat. He's gone back inside. And I tell you what, he's worked that very well, Thomas. He could have easily taken the shot straight away there. And it would have been a mistake to take that shot. But played the one more, the extra pass that no one would have seen. And is able to square this game up at 1-1 with just 9 minutes left.
And it all came from Roberto Firmino getting pickpocketed in the middle of the pitch. A quick counter-attack, one through ball, released the France attack, and Kingsley Coman linking up there with his partner in the final third to slot it past the goalkeeper into an empty net.
Well, well, well. Sort of like we're repeating ourselves here in terms of, is it going to be extra time again for the third time tonight? Or is this French side going to snatch it late on? Maybe it could happen for Thomas. Maybe there could be a chance. Matuidi into Kante, Koeman. He wants to get the ball into Mbappe, but it's just trying to find that passing lane, which is currently not open. There's a prime example of it. Ajdin tries to play the ball long and it was too long. Bobby Firmino tried to chase the left back. Maybe there could be one more chance for either of these two if they can get the ball forward. So number one rule in added time, you have to get the ball forward. Liverpool with it. 20 in-game seconds left. The ball needs to get into the box. It could be Salah across. It could be an own goal. No! It goes down as a goal for Mohamed Salah. The ball was whipped into the box. It came off a number of bodies in there. Sadio Mane was pressing. He was trying to get a touch, but it's going to go down as an own goal. Rafael Varane just smashes it into the goal.
Booting it in his own net. I tell you what, how many own goals and goal-mouth scrambles do we see in the Open Series? We've commentated a lot of competitive FIFA this year, Brandon. A lot of global leagues, a lot of global events. I've never seen so many own goals as to what I see here in the Open Series. Is it because people aren't pro players and they potentially do panic a little bit? They start clear the ball inside the box, and it just goes anywhere. But I feel like we see one of those every single week.
That's a $300 mistake there. That of course, he's not meant to do anything. He's just tried to get rid of the ball, but unfortunately, Varane's put it into his own goal. And I mean, Liverpool are moving into a final, Richard. However, they've won the game. They somehow have. No extra time is needed. Thomas OM out of the tournament. He'll go into that third place matchup now against Cooljoker. But it's going to be MHaywxrd up against Ajdin. And Ajdin's coming for that third win, Richard, against previous weekly invitational winners. He wants to take down the big names in the tournament, and they're going to be seeing that game in just 15 minutes' time. Wow, what a game that was in the end. I mean, I didn't expect for the game to end like that.
What? A little bit of late drama right there. 90th minute, Brandon. It was as late as it gets, in all honesty.
Oh, my.
And in
What
the
happened
end,
there? It was...
that late... The drama. That's what it does to the bracket. Ajdin moves on 2-1, and we'll be taking on MHaywxrd in our grand final.
Yeah, that is the grand final. It's all come down to this. 4 weeks of weekly invitationals. An unbelievable 64 players involved in the bracket tonight. Only 2 names remain though, Richard, and those 2 names will be battling out for a chance to win $400 and to call themselves champions, to get into the same sort of category as Degui, who was our champion last month in June. $400 on the line, a massive opportunity, as you said, to really try and make a name for yourself in the PS4 Tournaments Open Series. And if you want to get involved in what you see, you want to play FIFA, you want to play in tournaments where you can win cash, get involved today. There's a link that will just pop up below me and Richard. Get signed up today. Compete.playstation.com if you want to get yourselves involved.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, before we do go to a break, shout out Reeve raiding right now in the Twitch chat. If you are joining from Reeve's live stream, don't go anywhere, because after this break, we have got our grand final for the entire month of July coming up between 2 class FIFA players. Don't go anywhere.
So many world-famous players, they started online.
We are good to go for our first match of the stream.
We're here for FIFA 20 action.
Who's going to be the overall grand final victor? The next PlayStation FIFA superstar.
I think the level of play that we're currently looking at, and it's fantastic. No one leaves today empty-handed.
PlayStation.
Well, here we go then. It's all come down to this one. It's time for our grand final as part of the PS4 Tournaments Open Series. Welcome back to my Twitch channel. As always, if you have just joined from a raid or you are new around here, guys, my name is Brandon Smith and joining me is Richard Buckley for this grand final. $400 on the line, a lot of money up for grabs. Who's going to be coming out on top on this one, Rich? Is it going to be the guy that's been knocking out all the big names in this tournament? Or is it going to be a player that you can sort of say undoubtedly has been the most consistent player ever since the European Open Series kicked off?
Let's have a look at the tail of the tape. What do the stats say, Brandon? This is after the quarterfinals, so from the broadcast onwards, both players scored 6 goals apiece. Ajdin conceded 1 more. Mitch kept a clean sheet, and both players have only used one team throughout the entire tournament. That is both France and Liverpool. So in terms of the stats, a very, very slight advantage to previous weekly champion Mitch Hayward. Is it going to be a weekly champion? Are your predictions potentially going to be coming right, Brandon? You said we're going to see more than France. We've seen Liverpool, we've seen PSG. Yep. You said we're going to get a repeat matchup. I don't think we've had a repeat matchup, but I'll have a look through the bracket and see and compare and contrast. And the main one, the one that you put all your plaudits on, was the winner from a weekly invitational. Someone who's won a weekly invitational winning a monthly invitational. I'll tell you what, Mitch is in there.
It could be happening today, couldn't it, Richard? I think which is the most crazy thing we're looking at right now. As we said, $400 up for grabs. This is not a weekly invitational. This is our monthly final. A weekly invitational would normally pay out $250, of course, and you would be a winner of a weekly invitational. This is a monthly final. This is one where it's just a bit more onto it, isn't there? You're a monthly final winner. 64 of the best players from the 4 weeks accumulate together for this tournament, and that's what the poll says right now. 79% of the vote going in MHaywxrd's way. And I think if you were a betting man, you would bet with him. From what he's been able to do across not just this month, but the month before as well. We didn't actually get to see him in June because the month we were meant to be on, unfortunately, we had a few technical difficulties and we couldn't do that stream back then. But I think looking at what he's achieved, looking at the sort of player he is, you know, as you said already, Richard, if he doesn't make an event next year, you'd honestly be surprised. I mean, he's knocking on the door, isn't he, of getting into events and trying to make things happen.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you are just joining in for the final, this is the PlayStation Open Series, a weekly tournament ran by ESL and by Sony and PlayStation. You can sign up, compete.playstation.com, get yourself immersed in these weekly tournaments. That's the link. If you fancy yourself at FIFA, there's other titles as well on those in the Open Series, Call of Duty and also Mortal Kombat, a range of different games. Make sure you go to the link, sign up, and get yourself competing. Prize money, avatars, FIFA points, all up for grabs at compete.playstation.com. And we're running all the way up till the end of the year.
Yeah, we will be indeed. So get yourselves involved so you don't miss out on the competition. She said $400 to our winner today. If you have just joined the stream, as she said, grand final time in front of us. Our North America will be live tonight as well. So if you are a fan of North America and you've enjoyed watching the North American bracket, our monthly finals will be live there. I mean, Bosniana will be involved, you'd think. King CJ would be involved. There'd be a few EMLS pros sort of sprinkled around as well. So there's a lot. I think I saw Enrico Season pop up in the chat as well. So he'll be playing, I can assure you. And I mean, they'll be playing their games right now, actually. The round of 64 would have been played and they'll be sort of deep into round of 32, round of 16, you'd think, in the next hour or so. So those games will be taking place and we will bring in you the top 8 of that a little bit later on tonight. But MHaywxrd against Ajdin. And I mean, Ajdin, Rich, you're proving our point. Exactly. Just players popping out of nowhere in the monthly finals. And I think that's the great thing of a 64-man bracket. It's knockout football. No second chances, no Swiss rounds.
Absolutely, yeah. Knockout format and also one leg. It means that you've got to come out flying straight away. You have to be one of the best players in the opening sort of 45 to 90 minutes. Before we get into the final, if you wanted a little bit more information on how to sign up to the PlayStation Open Series, get your ears and eyes open and have a watch of this.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series. Fight your way through monthly competitions for exclusive rewards and cash prizes. Kick back with dynamic themes, avatars, and crystals, whether you play once or perform like a pro across all 4 rounds. Bring your A game to the qualifiers for a chance to be invited to broadcast rounds, or stand tall in the top 8 for any of the 4 open qualifiers to reach the monthly final. Then face other top performers for the title. Captivate the community on stream for bragging rights, recognition, and a little something extra toasty. Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation.
And there you have it. That is the MK, I should say, the Mortal Kombat Open Series. If you fancy a little something different, it wasn't me and Richard talking there. Of course, it is Ketchup and Mustard. The guys that cast Mortal Kombat do a fantastic job normally on the day before us. So they've had their monthly finals yesterday on their own Twitch channels. And yeah, it's great to see. We also got Call of Duty as well. So if you're a Warzone fan, a Call of Duty fan, they have you sorted on the Open Series. So many different games that you guys can get involved in. So compete.playstation.com, you'll be able to see all of those different games if you fancy getting involved in maybe one of them.
Yeah, I believe we're very, very close to getting our final underway. That's the link that you want to go to for one final time, compete.playstation.com. And as we approach our final, Brandon, let's have a look back at July between ourselves. What were some of the standout moments? Have you got any key highlights that have stood out for you in July?
I mean, well, we saw PSG win, didn't we? Back in week 1 in July with MHaywxrd. Unfortunately, couldn't get to the latter stages in the tournament tonight. Went out in the round of 32 to Ajdin, who we're going to be watching right now. But it was just refreshing to see a lot of flair, a PSG team that came out on top and won, especially after we thought it was all going to be France and it was all going to be one-way traffic. But other than that, I would say that Europe just brings you more names, Richard. More names, more different names. Yes, we know MHaywxrd. Yes, we know Cooljoker and a sort of Melly Belly and a handful of other names. But every week, you're guaranteed at least, I'd say, 2 to 4 different names in the knockout rounds.
I think for me, I'm going over to North America, and just the tension and the animosity that is between some of the players over there. We've seen shushes, we've seen people dabbing, going to the camera, you name it. Even literally time wasting in the corner, shielding the ball. People are vicious out in North America. We want the wins is the #1 mentality by any means necessary. And I've been very entertained and captivated by a number of the games over there where sort of it's spilled over a little bit, and it's always good to see.
I mean, I'm sure there might be a few shushes out there tonight if the users and co are all involved. And I think the reason that we see that for so long is just because of how the games are played, in terms of that it's the same players every single week. If you have just joined the stream, guys, you have dropped a raid to the stream, do appreciate it, guys. We are commentating on the PS4 Tournaments Open Series, so a little bit of a different stream to the normal FUT Champions or rewards or drafts. This is a weekly tournament that's put on by PlayStation, and it's on PS4 exclusively. And of course, we have prizes up for grabs, unique avatars in the game that you guys can earn. So a lot of awesome stuff, and we're here every single week. So get yourselves involved. Compete.playstation.com if you want to get yourselves involved in this one. If you do an ! Open Series in the chat, there'll be a couple of moderators that can push you in the right direction. But here we go. We've waited 4 weeks for this one. Grand final time in July. Who will come out on top? Will it be MHaywxrd or will it be Ajdin in this one? Liverpool against France. Who's going to come out on top?
Is there going to be an early goal? I think that's one of the big questions. MHaywxrd scored pretty early inside the first 30 minutes in both of the games that we've seen today from him. However, it's Ajdin at the minute trying to build into an attack.
Best of one as always. It's 1 goal, and the first goal could mean everything. Who's going to get it? MHaywxrd looking to get his first chance off the game registered. He's given us some huge performances today. Ben Yedder still with it, cuts it back inside to Usman Dembele, and it's just tipped around the boner by Alisson. to ensure the game does stay at 0-0 in this one. But MHaywxrd, as I said, some incredible results across tonight. 5-0 win in the quarterfinals. It was a tighter game in the match we just saw in the semis, but plenty of goals have been flying in from round of 64, round of 32, and the round of 16. Certainly is a player to watch out for.
I'll tell you what, that chance early doors with Ousmane Dembele, you're sort of expecting to score that, in all honesty. 5-star weak foot at the near post. I was surprised not to see the ball ended up in the back of the net, Brandon.
Kante, Griezmann, and for that left foot finesse, looking to find a way into the top corner. One thing we talked about all night is how this Liverpool team have been used. 4-4-2, a flat 4-4-2, and it's meant that Fabinho and Wijnaldum have had to come more into their own and had to be box-to-box midfielders, had to be up and down, and had to be really involved, both defensively and going forward. Off the post from Bobby Firmino. Both players coming so close to breaking the deadlock here.
Cracking chance from Bobby Firmino, and Tolisso dribbling the ball out of play there. Very un-Mitch-like. I wonder if maybe is the pressure getting to him a little bit in this monthly final.
Chance again. Half a drag back, Mohamed Salah. Do everything he can to get those key players onto the ball. The Sadio Mane's, the Roberto Firmino's, those players that really have the final touch in front of goal. The perfect touch often. Firmino tries to finesse back to Wijnaldum. Another block at the back from MHaywxrd. He certainly is on the ropes. I think the key thing is, Richard, when you're up against a player that's achieved so much, he's a big name in the Open Series. You've got to make him feel uncomfortable. You can't let him score the first goal. Griezmann stings the hands of Alisson.
You have to put the pressure on. Exactly right, Brandon. You have to make it an uncomfortable experience. I think one of the most sort of uncomfortable scenarios you can be put in. Maybe locked inside a sauna or something like that. That's the situation you want to put him in.
Wijnaldum. Not the best cross. This could be a golden chance for Sadio Mane. No, that was the composure. Goes for the cheeky chip. It's absolutely beautiful FIFA. 2 steps ahead of the game. He's Ajdin. I mean, Sadio Mane had a pocket of space and then tried to play it back and go for the dink, and eventually it's Varane that has to be at the right place at the right time to clear it off the line. But what's a final this has been so far? 40 minutes into it. Still goalless between the two. They're still trying to find who's going to sort of break the deadlock in this one. Chance, Mbappe. Mbappe again nearly gets fouled in the box, and wow, this is absolutely mental.
I'm shocked there's not been a goal so far. 43 minutes on the clock, just approaching, and somehow, out of all the action we've had, there's not been a goal.
It's a great ball forward again. Look at the space that Liverpool have got in this 4-4-2. Last chance at half, goes for the cutback, it's cleared off the line. Another chance for Gini Wijnaldum, back to goal, recycles it to Shaqiri, it's saved off the line again.
Hugo Lloris, take a bow. 2 ridiculous saves there, jumping down to the left bottom post and tipping it away. Brandon's shaking his head. What a first half of FIFA. This is living up to the final moniker.
It really is, and the fact that we haven't seen goals, Rich, we've just seen chances, great saves and great blocks at the back. Clearances off the line between these two. We've got 45 minutes left in the tie. Scoreline at 0-0 at the moment. $400 to whoever can pull themselves out of this 0-0 situation we find ourselves in. And to get themselves 1 goal to the good. 1 goal could win this game. It's as simple as that. Which way is this tie going to go? 45 minutes left in front of us. Shaqiri. The only time we've actually seen him start in this Liverpool team, it's normally Minamino that is back when Liverpool playing that usual 4-2-3-1, which we've often said is the way to play with Liverpool. Could this be the new way to play with Liverpool?
Well, he's certainly putting on a show here. He's Ajdin. The only thing missing is a goal for him as it stands. He's put some real pressure on MHaywxrd.
Here come Liverpool again. Bobby Firmino, lovely drag back, lovely composure. And an even better finish to break the deadlock in this tie. We might not have seen it before, but I tell you what, this man wants to go the full way tonight.
Cracking finish at the near post, drag back, and then rifled in to that near post. Unbelievable finish from Ajdin, and it's been coming, let's be honest.
This is where MHaywxrd has got to pull something magical out of a bag, out of a hat, whatever he wants. It's just got to be in the next 30 minutes. Because this player on the screen we're looking at right now, Richard, and Ajdin, has been absolutely perfect. And someone honestly say from how many titles that France have won in the Open Series that a disadvantage using Liverpool? Clearly not. He's made a new meta for the Liverpool side. 4-4-2 is just absolutely ridiculous. Another pause in front of us now. It's time for those changes for MHaywxrd and probably custom tactic change. He'll make the usual 3 subs that he will normally make. Left back on, Coman on, Nabil Fekir on. Is there going to be a change
Look
in
what he's
those
done.
custom tactics?
He usually plays 4-2-3-1. He's made him switch into 4-4-2. He's made him switch into 4-4-2. Because he has to match up the 4-4-2 of Ajdin here. Mitch is predominantly a 4-2-3-1 player. And he has been in that change of formations.
Oh, that's not good. From the goal kick, such a simple way to lose possession. Sometimes such a careless way to lose possession. I think as you said though, when he was playing a 4-2-3-1, there was just gaps appearing all the time. When you're playing a flat 4-4-2 that Ajdin is, whether it's Shaqiri, whether it's Mohamed Salah, there was just a lot of space to attack and a lot of space to sort of find gaps in between.
Only 25 minutes remaining. I can't really recall that many chances Mitch has had, Brandon. Ousmane Dembele in the first half. I think maybe one more chance, but Ajdin, he's forced some unreal saves from Lloris and taken the real big chance that he did create.
On top of all of that, Richard, it was only last week, last Thursday, where Hezers actually beat MHaywxrd in a grand final. He's great at getting to grand finals, and I mean, I'd say more than less, he normally gets over the line and ensures he will be a champion, but last week he did lose, and he could be 2-0 down here if Salah can find the space to get around everyone. I mean, he nearly got around everyone. Chance. Could it be 2? Great save from Lloris. Unbelievable save to keep this tie alive. That goes in, it's game over.
100% agree with you. There's chances that are being squandered right now for Ajdin. And the question on everyone's lips right now is he going to be made to pay for it? Is Mitch going to take a chance? Is he going to create a chance?
This could be that chance. Pogba does get intercepted, but the tackle's not strong enough. Ball finds a way back to Pogba, back to Ben Yedder, and back to Pogba again. Here's Mitch Hayward building into an attack, just 12 minutes left. Kante. Fekir, he's onside as well, but it's not going to last for too long because Joe Gomez is back, Fabinho is back, and Liverpool have defended well.
He's in.
He's on as well. Sadio Mane, look at the space inside. Well played by Mitch there with Varane. He does give away a corner, and into the pause menu will go again. This is where the match can really get tactical and we can really get in depth with what's being changed. It's going to just be basic player instructions. He's made his 3 subs, couple of custom tactics. Get that depth up now. We need to attack. We need a goal, and we need to make something happen. It's as simple as that for him, Hayward.
Basically, in this 4-4-2, you put your 2 wide players just on basically stay forward, keep wide, get the ball out wide, get your fullbacks bombing up as well, squeeze high up the pitch. With only 10 minutes left to play, I really don't know if there's going to be enough chances in the match. Keeping calm, isn't he, though? Ajdin went backwards with Fabinho, kept hold of the ball, shoots at the near post. Great save from Lloris again.
Nearly finds a way through, doesn't he, Richard? Just 4 minutes left in this one. Still not sure which way the tie's going to go. Salah back to Varane, back to Bobby Firmino now. Just building into an attack, keeping the ball if anything. He's brought on those fresh legs. He's brought a defensive midfielder to see out the tie in Jordan Henderson. And he's seconds away from not just making a name for himself, but from becoming our champion for the month of July. $400 into the back pocket. Taking out 3 massive names, 3 weekly invitational winners. And if this man is not present in August, I will be asking questions to where he is. Added time of 2 minutes. He's still got possession, but this is it. This would be the last chance of the game for Mitch Hayward. If he can find the back of the net, this would be late drama. Massive tackle from Joe Gomez. That's the full-time whistle. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion, a new name that steps up at the end of the month of July. With just 2 days remaining this month, there's a new name around town, and that is Ajdin. Oh my days. Unbelievable scenes from...
Nobody predicted it coming into the tournament. You looked at the bracket that he had, playing against AMK and Hezers and Mitch Hayward in the final. At every single round, you thought, that's where he's going to go out. That's where he's going to go out. That's where he's going to go out. And he just kept on defying the odds time after time after time. And fair play to him. Silenced, in all honesty, Mitch in the final third. A very, very good performance. A dominant performance, you could say, from this young man, and the Austrian will be taking home the #1 spot.
These were some of the chances, Richard. As we said, what a first 45 minutes. We had chance at either end, and then there was a breakthrough eventually. Firmino with the drag back, went for the near post, and found the back of the net. That was the only goal in the game. He might be a new name, Richard, to the monthly finals, but I'm sure he won't be a new name for that long. Ajdin Riyad of Austria. Unbelievable scenes. $400 in his back pocket. Commiserations to M. Hayward, a player that we're very much fond of here on the Open Series. He's been so consistent, but there's only one player of the day, and it has to be our champion, Richard. 1 clean sheet, plenty of goals, and of all, he used Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool, the winning team here in July. Fair play to Ajdin. He was victorious, and he is the player of the day. There's plenty more action coming up here in the Open Series. Make sure you're tuning in throughout the rest of August. You've got the weekly competitions in Mortal Kombat. And later on this evening, you get to see the July North American Finals. That's going to be in 2 hours' time. In a couple more days as well, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare July monthly finals, August 2nd, if you want to see the up-and-coming stars in all of those 3 titles. If you want to get involved, compete.playstation.com is the site to go to. Sign up, link your accounts, and make sure you're involved in all the action.
Yeah, that's all you've got to do to get involved in the Open Series. As we said, there will be plenty of links in the Twitch chat. I know you've seen it throughout the show tonight, popping up below us. Compete.playstation.com if you want to get yourselves involved. We'll have our North American bracket playing out right now, round of 64 down to that Final 8. The Final 8 will be waiting and it'll be ready for roughly about 2 hours' time, and we'll be kicking off the action to wrap up July here on the competition centre for the Open Series. It's been an absolute pleasure having Richard Buckley on the channel as always, and it's another sort of wrap from us here in Europe. That is it for July. We have a new name, and once again the curse strikes in the monthly finals of names that don't win weekly invitationals, win monthly finals. We'll be back in just a couple of hours' time, but thank you so much for watching. We'll see you very soon.